Speaking. Let's say, hypothetically.
Hypothetical.
Let's say you've been a bad girl.
Hypothetically, if you were naked, I was naked.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, right? Would a moose have sex with me if I gave it $10 million?
Let's say, hypothetically, you've been a naughty girl.
Wait, read that one more time.
Would you rather spend the next 2 weeks in a cock cage or get a daily ass paddling by Satan? A cock cage. I don't
know. I wish we knew what a cock cage was. If it's what I'm thinking of it is, I think I'd rather take the
ass paddling.
I'd rather have the ass paddling.
Let's just look and see.
The maximum amount of pleasure.
Got a good beat. It's quite a catchy song.
Sure is.
My foot's going. Look at me.
You want some butt sex? You want a minute, but not tonight in my anus. You want my poopa? You want a pound?
Oh my God, I don't know what's becoming of this fucking show, but they're right there. You know all the things that I sign us up for.
We're either gonna scare them away or draw them in.
Are you ready to have some fun? Because I am.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time to kick ass.
Anything could happen.
Oh, that is gross.
Do you think you can handle it?
Make some noise!
Welcome to Back and Forth with Wes and Mike. I'm Mike.
I'm Wes, and we've switched the whole thing around because apparently for some reason unknown, I can never remember to do it. So we just decided that Mike is in charge of the intro now.
We've really been slacking lately. This is take 2 here.
Yep,
So
take 2. Luckily, we weren't too far in. We were 15 minutes in.
I was literally just thinking, we did way better first starting off than we are now. Like, this is nothing to us at this point. It's second nature.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you're doing that. We're getting complacent now. You're just...
Just getting normal. We just start talking and don't.
You don't have to worry about everything, I guess. Even though we should, we forget to record.
Yeah, well, that's a problem. But I stopped worrying about it. And
you're just well, exactly. It's just like nothing now. You're like, okay,
you just turn that on, turn this on, do
start talking, and just.
So I almost like episode 12, the big screw up there where we had to do the whole thing over again. I forgot this time again to start the voice recorder.
At least the camera.
It was working on there, but I had thought, because that's exactly what we said last time. We were like, fuck it. So I was like, you know what? Let's just start over. Plus, Mike had mentioned my fucking address and basically told people to color up my house and everything. So told people to stop by if they wanted to.
Keep calling me fat and fucking with me, but you want to talk about it being Armageddon? I'll have people
I guess
here.
I had it coming to me. But we got talking about people with that got a hold of me from my YouTube channel and from my Instagram and stuff, and how I've gotten phone calls from random people that follow me, and I don't even know them, and they're talking to them, and how weird that was. And then I looked down and realized that I'm not even recording.
So it worked out.
So I was like, fuck it. We were only, 15 minutes in?
That's why I gave your address out. I knew you weren't recording anyway.
That's true. He knows this type of stuff.
I was testing you.
He knows this type of stuff.
I'm on top of my game.
It's Tuesday, the 14th of December.
Almost Christmas.
I don't know why I feel the need to add that, but I do. I feel the need to put the address in there so that when people listen, they can tell what day it is. And also they can reflect, because these don't come out. Like if this was a live show, like a radio show, we could talk about news right now that was happening like yesterday or today, but it doesn't work that way on a podcast. This isn't going to come out until Thursday.
So a couple days, 2-3 days.
Yeah, so current events, we try to keep them fairly current, or at least talk about things that can be kept current. Things that are happening this second. It doesn't work.
So.
Yeah, and they've already
can't tell you what's going to happen Thursday.
Heard so much about it. One thing, though, I would like to talk about that everybody has probably heard about probably for the last couple of days here now is that tornado in Kentucky. The reason I bring it up is because typically, I would say this is a comedy show. I mean, we that's 99% of the time we joke around, but
talking just disgusting,
right?
Joking,
right? But I thought it's important because we do have a heart. Little and dark, nearly black, but we do have one. And I thought that maybe I should bring something up about this. So they found out 74 are dead and 109 people they still haven't found from this. Now,
and I would imagine, unfortunately, those numbers are probably going to go up.
Most likely. That was just in Kentucky. According to them, the hurricanes or the hurricanes.
Biden.
Yeah. We were saying before that Biden called them hurricanes, didn't he? He doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Illinois, Missouri, and Mississippi were hit by this in one way or another. So, with Kentucky being the hardest hit and probably the most fatalities, I thought that I would find a GoFundMe page or some way that any of our listeners could get a hold or donate some money if they had any extra. I know Christmas is coming, so it's kind of tough, but it's going to be tough for these people too because
it's going to be real tough.
They got a lot more to worry about than getting gifts for their aunt and uncle. So I'm going to put the link to this GoFundMe page that I found. There was a ton of them, but a lot of them are just personal ones, and I wanted to find something that kind of like spread apart the whole...
Like a generalized one.
Yeah, for everybody. So this one is going to go to, there's like 6 or 8 food trucks that got together, and they're going around and giving people free meals, especially the first responders. Some of these guys and girls have been working
probably
night
around
and day.
the clock.
Yeah, haven't slept in days probably because this is kind of a big deal down there. So I thought that was a good one. The problem of it is they were volunteering all their food and time to cook and feed these people.
But that runs out.
Right, and it does cost money. I mean, I know they have a big heart and they're trying to help, but they also can't go broke and go bankrupt to help, So
exactly.
They started this thing. Their goal was $100,000. They are at $114,000 now. So they're doing good and things are working out, but I figured that was a good general one if you guys want to donate to that. Or like I said earlier when we did this, even $1 helps out. If 100 people donate $1, that's a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs for these people. So I'll put the link in the description on YouTube and on the audio.
I'm sure everybody would appreciate it, obviously. Obviously, our thoughts and prayers are with everybody down there. Like I said, we do have a heart, so it doesn't matter when it happens. It just, as far as I'm concerned, it makes it worse around the holiday season. That's all.
Right.
Just because I know how much I love the holiday time and spending time with friends and family and stuff, and just thinking,
wow,
what these people got to go through right now.
Top donation on here is $20,000 somebody donated to this fund in one shot. Somebody donated $20,000. Good for them. Yep. Wow. Left it anonymous. They don't want that's great. Yep. Good for them. But there's a lot of people donating $100. A lot of people $5, $1. There was one for 50 cents. So it's like anything helps. 50 cents gets you basically a hot dog for somebody, which may
the point you're trying.
Seem like, oh, who cares about one hot dog? But when these guys are barely walking, they're so tired and hungry, it's like that hot dog could mean a lot to somebody.
Somebody might say that's not much, but you got to think about it. First of all, to back up the whole pandemic nonsense that's been going on, people losing their jobs, the holiday season going on. Maybe people can't afford to do much, but you know what? This person was like, I could at least 50 cents. And again, it doesn't seem like much, but it is. Mm-hmm. And it's the point that they did it anyway. They didn't even have to do that 50 cents, but they did. They figured it's all I can do, but I want to do something. It's not much, but it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot more than most will do, I can tell you that.
There's, according to this article on the GoFundMe page, there are 7 food trucks that are involved in this trying to help out. And I'm going to name them. I'm probably going to butcher some of their names, but I'm going to name them so that, just out of appreciation for what they're doing, I guess. But these are the food trucks that the money is going into to keep feeding these people. The first one is All Tied Up. The other one is Ramiro's Cantina. The other one is Hurricanes, but it's spelled Hurrikanes. So, or is that how? I don't know. It just looks weird. But anyway, the next one is Hot Buns. Then there's Squared Cut Pizza.
I like that one.
I do too. AEJA's Kitchen. Asia's Kitchen. Asia's Kitchen.
I'm still stuck on the Hot Buns.
And Bomba Egg Rolls. Those are the 7 food trucks that are getting together to do that. So thanks for them. And I think that's great.
Absolutely.
Good for people to. And around the holiday time, that's good to see that people still give a shit. And they're
especially
willing
because there hasn't been much unity going on lately. So.
Right, yeah, things have been real weird, and these guys basically came together and just said, I don't care what it costs, we're just going to give this stuff out free. So that's why I think this GoFundMe is important.
Like you said, this could be a big change or whatever to bring everybody together. Like we haven't.
Well, yeah, it got me thinking.
Neighbors helping, like it doesn't matter who you voted for, who you support.
Yep.
Political views, race, nothing matters other than you are neighbors and you each just lost your home, and now it's time to help each other and rebuild and forget this terrible thing.
Well, that's it's like you're saying. Basically, it's unfortunate that this happens. However, when you look back on it, it's kind of like, wow, look how the way we came together. Nobody gave a shit who the president was. Nobody cared about vaccinations and all the bullshit that everything's been going on lately. It's just they were concentrating on helping each other, and so I think that's a good cause, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because in a world of bullshit lately,
and everything,
hate and separation, it's nice to see people come together.
You know, they
So
always.
what's that?
No, go ahead. Sorry, finish.
Well, I was just going to say I'll put the link in both YouTube and the audio so people can get a hold of it. Or I don't know just how GoFundMe works, but I think you can search for "Help Feed Tornado Victims and First Responders." That's the title on here. So I think if you search for that on their page,
It'll probably get you there.
But I'll put the link so people can get a hold of it.
They just always say, though, you think you have it rough, somebody's always got it worse. Well, case in point, here you go.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, yeah. I mean, that's just it. You have a flood up here or something. Everybody talks about how horrible it is, and then
deer
down
jumped
there,
out in front of me, and I hit it with my truck. I'm like, oh, what? Meanwhile, these people have no house.
Their house is
Meanwhile,
gone.
I got a dent in my fender. Oh, darn.
Yep.
You know?
So I don't want to joke around about that, and I want to get off of that subject because I know just how we are and our humor. But so I want to kind of like separate that being a serious topic too.
Well, that's why we get it out of the way, you know.
Right. Well, and that's
thoughts and prayers are with all those people. Obviously, if you do donate, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and obviously everybody affected by this appreciates it.
I guess if I was any better at this and had more time, I could have started a GoFundMe and then just sent the money. But the problem of it is we're kind of such a small name now. It's like, who's going to donate to two guys? How do they know we're not going to go get hamburgers with it ourselves? So it's I'd rather just, until we get to a better position to do that, I'd rather just let them do it.
I'm pretty sure the majority of people, though, that listen to us would know that we're not those guys. But either way, I get exactly what you're saying because that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure the majority of people that are listening to
I
us
think with GoFundMe
know damn well that, you know, we're not those guys.
I think with GoFundMe
You're not
pages,
that guy, pal.
There's actually, I got rid of that for a different sound for later on.
That's all right. I'll have to do it.
You can do it. You do it. Sound just like them anyway. I think there's a way with GoFundMe that doesn't happen. I think they have like security measures in place so you can't just get ripped off. But I don't really know enough, so it's just easier. Just go give it to them. It's no different. It just saves us a step. I mean, not that I'm that lazy. I don't want to help these people, but why give it to us and then we have to give it to find somebody to give it to? It's just easier. Just give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that's that. I hope everybody ends up. I mean, there's already some people that didn't make it, so that sucks. But hopefully, everybody else can pull through. Where is Chino Hills?
I have no idea. Never even heard of it.
I'm guessing California. Chino Hills, California. We may have another UFO sighting on our hands, and this one sure seems legit, seeing how there's no explanation for what the heck all these lights are in the sky.
Where the hell did you find that?
Title of the article is "Swarm of Lights Dart Across Sky, Sighting in Chino Hills." I think you put it in there. It's a TMZ article.
I feel like I did, but I can't. I'm looking for it.
Check out this wild video. Let's see if I can find. It's not. It just shows a picture. It's not letting me do a video. But anyway, that's all right because people on the audio can't see it or hear it anyway. We're told this was shot a couple of days ago on December 9th around 9 p.m. The woman who filmed it tells us her grandson was taking out the trash when he looked up and saw this. I see nothing in this picture, and it doesn't let me play
all
it.
them blue things. You don't see that?
Oh, is that? Oh, I just thought that was part of the clouds.
You believe in aliens and that shit?
I do.
I believe there's something out there.
Yeah, that's more or less what way it is with me. I believe that there could be. I don't believe them because I've never seen them. But I don't. If one came to the world, it wouldn't really fully surprise me.
Would you be scared?
I think out of defense,
just going off of like what you typically see on TV. Now, obviously, who's to say that's what a alien really looks like? Because we've never seen one, we don't know. But let's say they do exist, 100%. And maybe they do look like they show on TV. I think I would be scared.
Well, when I think TV, I think E.T., and I liked him.
Well, yeah.
He was all right, but I get what you're saying. There's a million different... I would be scared. I would definitely be scared in a defensive type of way. I wouldn't let my guard down because I mean, how do we know what they're here for?
Some pizza and wings with you?
Yeah, I'm not going to invite them in. You see this stuff on the movies, like you talk about. They go up to them and they're like, "Oh, we're not going to harm you. We're not going." Maybe they might not give a fuck. They might be here just to take our souls and our fucking corpses.
Yeah, you never know.
They don't care if we're going to don't harm us. It'll make it easier on us. I don't think that...
I would like to ride in a UFO, though.
Wouldn't that be cool?
If I remember it.
I'd like to see their technology.
Then it leads you... Now you go down the rabbit hole. Now it leads me like... It would be like Men in Black after they're done with me. They flash my memory.
Maybe you already have and don't even know.
That's exactly... Yeah. Maybe they've already abducted us a couple times and we don't even know it.
There has to be some. There either hasn't been or they have some type of a thing. There's been a lot more of these spottings though lately, and they're all kind of like out west, out in that same. There's
definitely got to be something out there, is my opinion. There's got to be.
Well, I believe that. I think so too. I think a lot of these sightings that people are seeing are maybe technology that we aren't aware of yet. that are either our government or somebody
could be
else's
doing
government. And naturally, they're not going to tell anybody because they don't want other countries to know. You know, there's a lot going on. I try not to follow because everything's so lopsided and biased. But there's like a lot of stuff going on with China now, Russia. We're worried about Russia or something. Whether that's justified or not, I don't know. But it makes you wonder: is it these other countries, or are we ramping up to? And naturally, we don't want the word to get out about that. So there could be these spaceships. Actually, Rogan's into this stuff big time. He loves hearing about aliens and stuff and talking about aliens. And he's had a couple of guests on there that talk about them. And they actually have a lot of good points.
If you follow it, you probably, like we've talked before, though, it doesn't matter what article you go to. I could read one article and find a bunch of facts about this, go to a very different article and find out they say they don't even exist. So it depends on where you go, but...
The only ones I really believe, like this one I already don't believe, because here I'm reading here just from sitting back. The crazy part is we're told that after about 30 through 40 minutes, these things completely disappeared without a trace. There's so many ways that can be explained. If a cloud went in front of them, if the lighting changed, a reflection from something, somebody turned a spotlight off. I mean, there's so many different things that it could be. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just being skeptical about it. But the ones that get me are the ones like these pilots that have been in the military for 25 years, and they catch it on their phone while they're flying around in an F-14 like that. To me, like you see the thing floating around, and to me it's like that guy's he's got medals and stuff. He's not just going to say this and risk screwing up his what's the word I'm looking for? Credibility, his career. Yeah, he's not just going to come up with this unless he thought it was real. And there's been more and more lately. In fact, didn't Trump start that? He called it the Space Force or something like that. He started when he was in office. He started the Space Force, and everybody kind of laughed at him, and I laughed as well. But the more I think about it, I'm like, I guess the problem with the Space Force is that if you don't create that and you just consider it a joke for your entire life,
they got a video here. I pulled.
Oh, do they? Did you find the video? They are you watching it? Does it look real?
It's something. I don't know. I'm watching it to see how I feel.
Right.
It's in that same article if you scroll down.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be able to see it when you want to.
There's
definitely something there.
I laughed about that Space Force, but the more I get thinking about it, if somebody doesn't create something like that, and then something does happen, and there is UFOs that come to the world, whether you believe them or not, everybody is going to go, "Damn, I wish we'd have thought to create something."
Yep. In case
right. So it's almost like it was just forethought on his part. Everybody laughed at him, of course. His whole presidency, everybody laughed at everything he did, but he had a reason behind that, and I could see that, because even if it's 80 years from now, nothing ever happens, everybody laughs him out of office.
Regardless.
Right, 80 years from now, an alien comes down, and they're like, oh, we have this whole thing situated for this case scenario. Mm-hmm. That'd be my thing. If that happened, I'd be like, damn, I wish we had started this whatever.
Somebody's going to laugh at you and make fun of you no matter what you do this day and age. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking on a level of a president. No matter what we do, people laugh and joke. We're idiots. It doesn't matter. Everybody's always got an opinion. And
what are you watching, this flying in formation thing where it's got these dots?
Yeah.
Because you know what? The first thing that comes to my head, and I'm always like this, I'm skeptical about this shit. First thing that looks like to me is there's something going on behind them, cell phone, flashlight, something, and it's a reflection off the light on the window of whatever they're in. I'm assuming an airplane to be up there.
Yeah, but there's like 16 of them. That's awkward.
Yeah. I mean, I don't. Maybe it's aliens from friggin' somewhere. I have no idea. But I always go right to skeptical about it. Sightings such as these are becoming more and more common, which is presumably why the Pentagon is dedicating an entire new wing to studying them. The truth is out there.
Here's the thing: to study them, they're already studying them. Don't fool me. All right.
Yeah.
I believe they're already Area 51. You know the shit that goes on probably around.
Well, they have to, because that's something that you can't take for granted. We could laugh about it and joke about it, and everybody listen and be like, "Oh, you guys are idiots for believing in this." But if you don't do something about it 20 years from now, and they do show up, you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass. You didn't believe in it.
We're going to start studying them. They've been studying them for years.
Sure.
They know what's going on. They know what's out there. They probably put it out there.
Sure. And I could see why they wouldn't want to tell anybody. Because the first thing that happened, everybody would panic. You can't tell people aliens are starting to invade our fucking planet. People would be going nuts. Especially now, there ain't shit on the shelves anyway.
It might not be a bad thing, though, the way this world is. Maybe they're better people than a lot that are here.
I feel like they ain't too worried about any aliens that stop here now. They ain't going to last long. They're going to take one look at what's been going on. They're going to be fucking out of here.
Mm-hmm. If they know what's best for them.
Yeah.
Watching from the outside. If I was them, I'd be like, we'll pick a different fucking planet. Well, we ain't going to that one.
That's right.
We don't want to go to that one.
Did we talk about Kylie Jenner this time, or was that in the first one?
No, that was the first time, and her weird, obsessed neighbor.
Yes. She apparently, one of her fans or something came to her house.
Well, no, he thought he went to,
it was a neighbor's
turns
house.
out he went to her neighbor's house, but
to ask her to marry him. Doesn't even know the person.
Could have been serious. According to this article here, I mean, he was armed with flowers. I mean, he was ready.
The way they word these things is outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, he was ready. It could have been catastrophe. Imagine if they armed with roses, or maybe, I don't know, any other flower, dandelion, for Christ's sakes, who knows?
That brings up a good point. I guess it didn't much matter if you did say where I live, because everybody knows where these people live, and they don't really get through. I mean, they try to do things.
What do you mean? This guy's hopping a fence to bring him flowers. You don't want to be able to know where you're living.
Actually, he didn't know. He knew where the neighbor lived, apparently. Yeah, nobody's going to bring me flowers. I don't even want flowers, so it don't matter to me.
You imagine, though, like what?
I don't even want any of these women.
What possesses you to think like you've never talked to this girl in your life? She probably doesn't even know you exist.
No clue.
And you're just going to jump her fence with flowers and ask her to marry you. As if she would be like, the fact that you jumped my fence, stalker status, and just came over here unannounced, yeah, I'm going to marry you. You're the type of guy that I want to marry. That would make her feel real safe and secure, wouldn't it?
Oh, my God.
What the fuck is wrong with people?
You're right. How does this person even expect that she's going to say yes anyway?
What's he knock on the door and her security comes up and he's like, yeah, just I'm here to propose to Kylie.
Oh, in that case, come on in.
Yeah, why didn't you say so? We're just having dinner. Step on in.
Yeah, people are weird. The fact that person thought that was even a way to ask somebody is outrageous to me. But
anyway, now he's getting married to her neighbor because that's the house he ultimately went to.
And it does work. Apparently it does work.
For him it did, I guess, yeah.
With the Jenners. I don't think one of these girls is good looking. Not a single one of them. And I don't know what the big deal is. From what I understand, they are just Instagram models. And that's how, or one of them was, or a couple of them or something, and that's how their name got out there. And then there was that reality show. Yeah. Actually, wasn't there a sex tape? I thought there was a sex tape. I could be wrong, but if there was...
Oh, yeah, Kim, I think, has one.
Was there? Yeah, well, that's how people... Look at Paris Hilton. Nobody heard of a fucking peep out of her until she had a sex tape. Now, all of a sudden, she was in reality shows and all sorts of shit. That's what... I got to do a sex tape. And just leak it out there accidentally.
Ain't nobody going to still know.
And then our ratings go right through the fucking floor. We go from top 4% to, like, top 18 in a matter of one day. Now, anyway,
it says here... Also, on the same article, Kim Kardashian's security team, now this is the older sister, one of, intercepted a package from a fan that had a diamond engagement ring and a Plan B pill. So apparently he wanted to get married to her as well, but he just didn't want to have kids with her. That's what I'm getting out of that.
Well, maybe you should have asked her that before they got married. They should have figured that out.
Well, she's getting divorced from Kanye, so there you go. There's your opportunity. But
I thought that was. Weren't they divorced a while ago or no? Or were they just separated and now they're...
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're officially getting divorced now.
That's one thing I got to do better is keep up with this type of topics.
Well, here's the problem. We look at it to try and give us stuff to bring up and talk instead of just going 2 hours nonsense. Mm-hmm. But I literally care so little about what's going on with them.
Especially with them. Some celebrities I am, but not them. I could give a two fucks.
I'll pull the article up and like even put it in the notes, and then I'll just try to like glance at it to pick out like key points or something, because I'm so not into it that I don't even want to read the whole article to even pretend to know what I'm talking about when I come on here. Like I just I can't stand enough to where I'll be like, I'll find a couple key points and that'll be it. That'll be enough.
Yeah.
Because I'm not reading this whole article.
In fact, and it's nothing against you. I know you went through the work to find this article, but I'm already over it. Like I could give two shits about their life or what happened to them. And I think that's more of that celebrity than it is just celebrities. I feel like, well, like you said when we first started talking about this, it's like, you know, we can go on just busting each other's balls for 2 hours, but eventually that just gets old and people get sick of that too. So we try to have some type of a structure, right? So we give people information. And I keep saying how I hate to just read off these articles, but it's like it just gives people actual information.
Some of it's cool stuff, though, to be honest.
That's right.
Some of it, you know.
That's right. And some people aren't into, like, in fact, a lot of the people that listen are truck drivers. They don't have time to read these articles going down the road. So sometimes this might be a better outlet for them to get this information.
No, I agree 100%.
I just try to put a funny twist on it.
Our own little twist.
Somehow or another.
Own little twist, if you will.
Right. So, with that said... I'm going to switch this around when we get our guest here. But what do you got?
Playing dirty. Would you rather? You got two of them. Which one do we want?
Do I? What is it, like 150?
One says playing dirty, would you rather, might be the secret to your best sex ever. The other one says 100 would you rather questions that are all about sex.
Oh, yeah, those are ones I just put in there so I could take one of them questions each episode and put it in there.
Oh, you didn't want to do it
Well,
with
we could do it however you want, but I was just going to pick one for each episode to make a thing out of it. In fact, if you wanted to do that hypothetical, I'd want to do that too. Hypothetically speaking,
you're the boss. I'm just in it. I just figured this was going to be cool. Well, there's 100 of them, so we got a lot.
Well, let's start. I already got one picked off. Let's do the hypothetical speaking thing.
Hypothetically speaking, he says.
How come it didn't work?
Do you get the volume up?
Let's say, hypothetically.
Hypothetical?
Let's say you've been a bad girl.
Hypothetically, if like you were naked, I was naked.
Okay, hypothetically speaking, right? Would a moose have sex with me if I gave it $10 million?
Let's say, hypothetically, you've been a naughty girl.
All right, so
hypothetically, you've been a naughty girl.
The first one I came out, and they took it probably from one of them lists that you read. Would you rather live 80 years stuck in your house or 10 years, but you can go anywhere you want? So from this point in your life right now, you're how old, 37? So you could live...
Start over, you're giving people my age.
You could... You can live 80 more years, but you'd be stuck in your house always, could never leave your house.
And then I die?
And then you die after 80 years. Or you can live 10, but you can do freely whatever you want. Leave,
80.
come, go. Oh, 10, 100%.
80.
What's the life if you can only be just laying in your bed all day?
It said I had to be at my house. Didn't mean I couldn't have you down, couldn't have people
I ain't
over.
coming. I ain't coming to your fucking
That's
house.
all the more reason I'd choose the 80. Get 80 years, are you not coming?
That did say that. You're right. It didn't say that people couldn't come to your house.
That's what I mean, I get it. Don't get me wrong, but basically 10 more years of life and be able to go wherever the hell I want, which I can't afford anyway. Well, I guess, hypothetically, I could have the money to do it, so I guess that doesn't matter. Or live 80 years. I could have people down all the time, though. So I'd rather, I think, me personally, I'd rather do the 80 years.
I don't know, regardless of this situation, I don't know if I'd want 80 more years to begin with. That would put me at, what, 120, I'm 80, or I'm 37, 80 more years. I don't want to be
117.
I don't want to be that old anyway. To be honest with you, about 85, somewhere in there. First of all, the moment that somebody has to wipe my ass, I don't want to be around anyway. Take me out.
Well, the last one we were talking about, you want to shit on our bed and walls. So you don't have a problem shitting on somebody's bed and their walls, but you have a problem with them wiping.
I don't want them wipe my ass. I'm not a big fan of hygiene, is what it comes down to, I think. And if somebody has to help me with my hygiene, I'm out. I don't want to live.
By the looks and the smell of you could use a little help.
Well, it just says what it is. It's a hobby of mine. Remember in one of our first episodes we were talking about people that didn't shower or whatever?
You're going to test out your clothing to
That's
see
what
how...
I'm testing out. Yeah, I'm testing out my clothing to see.
For the record, he hasn't washed these jeans since we started the show.
Period. Since we started the first
episode 1.
Yep.
These haven't been washed. And he wears them every episode. It's like what the hell is that you call a superstition thing?
Yeah.
That's what he started on, so that's what we got to... I just wish
these are my...
wash
it's
them
like
in
your
between.
shirt. It's like your shirt. They would.
Yeah, but I do wash this in between at least.
I wash.
I might wear it every time, but...
I'm going to stop washing them though now just because.
Okay.
I'll just rub one of them Christmas trees on them. Anyway, so 10 years or 80 years, I think I would still pick 10 years. I would rather have an amazing life in 10 years than a shitty life in 80 years. Not to say it could.
I was going to say, who's to say it'd be shitty? You wouldn't know, though.
I just feel like eventually...
I guess you wouldn't know either way.
If I could only ever invite people here for 80 years, eventually people are going to get sick. Who wants, for the next 80 years, who wants to keep coming to my house and just
True
sitting
friends
here...
and family.
Sitting here in the living room. Yeah, but it would still be a boring life. I mean, you have to figure out... You can't see...
I could go outside in your yard, play horseshoes. I mean, it said you had to stay at your house. Didn't say you couldn't go outside and live and do. I just can't leave the house or the property. Correct?
No, it says stuck in your house.
Oh, in the house?
Yeah, stuck in your house.
I'd still do the 80 though.
Yeah, I can't do that. I want to see shit. If I only had 10 years left, I would just rack up credit cards. I want to see Europe and France and do experience shit. You know what I mean? Oh, that reminds me that Ice Bar is coming up.
Mm-hmm. Want to do that?
February. I think we should do that too.
We're gonna go. We should go.
We should get a bunch of the listeners together and go up.
The little meet greet thing. Not for that, but you know what I'm saying.
We can't do it there. They're gonna be so. If it's anything like that time I went before, it was shoulder to shoulder the whole time.
Be well worth it though. It'd be fun.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had more fun at that one than I did at the Sagamore. The time that I went up there, actually.
I like the mill anyway. That's a nice place.
Yeah, and I think being closer together, they have less area that you can do it in. I think that actually made it better because you're around. They had two bars. They had the inside one where you go get warm. They had the outside one up on the patio where it is.
Yeah,
That's where the ice was. That was all out of ice. They had bands. They had all sorts of shit. They had them heat things. So it was and it was colder than shit that day. I remember Vinny went with us, a bunch of people. Megan, can't remember her last name, but I guess it's for the better. Anyway, I probably shouldn't use last names. Megan and Vinny went. That was the night that I thought I was getting pulled over DWI on Route 20. Remember I called you?
Oh, yeah. That was that
And it wasn't
night?
even, I think we had one beer each of us by the time we left or whatever, and then we waited for hours and then left, and I was all paranoid. Yeah, that was the night.
You were paranoid, and you weren't even fucking driving.
Yeah. Yeah, right. It wasn't
So
even
what's
me.
that tell you?
Well, I didn't want to see her get in trouble, but anyways,
shit.
that was a good time up there. I'm looking forward to that. We should get a bunch of people together, some of the listeners that are local anyway, and we'll all go up and meet somewhere like Gildon or something and take off up to
Just to
Northway.
go. I'd be for that. It'd be a good time.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. So that's our mission after this episode is to get a bunch of our friends together.
There's some good ones on this list, Bob.
Is there? Well, bring one up. There's plenty of them there.
silly.
They'll last us forever. I didn't want to do the whole list because it was long, and I figured we'd just do one each episode, but we'll bring another one up. We'll see what we got. Oh, I could see him over there. His stomach is
I found some good
laughing.
ones, and then I literally, this just for whatever reason struck me funny. Would you rather spend the next 2 weeks in a cock cage or get a daily
No, already.
or get a daily ass paddling by Satan?
What the fuck?
I have no idea. That's what I mean. I found a bunch, and then I saw this one. I was like, this one's
Wait, read that
hysterical.
one more time.
Would you rather spend the next 2 weeks in a cock cage or get a daily ass paddling by Satan? A cock cage. I don't
know. I wish we knew what a cock cage was. If it's what I'm thinking of it is, I think I'd rather take the
ass paddling.
I'd rather have the ass paddling.
Let's just look and see.
The
I don't know
maximum
what that is.
amount of pleasure.
Are you looking up cock cage?
I'm gonna. I can only imagine what Google thinks when they go through my search history.
It's funny you were going to say that. You said that because I was just going to say the same thing. I have searched for the weirdest shit. So some of these sound effects I get, I go on YouTube and have to search out. I was talking in the last episode, I think, about some of these things I have to search, like these women that talk to guys on YouTube like they're...
ass paddling.
Well, really? What's a cock
Yeah,
cage?
Basically, life behind bars for your cock.
Oh, so it's not... I guess in my mind, I pictured being in a cage with a bunch of cock coming
it just
in.
doesn't. It doesn't look very.
Oh,
comfortable.
my God.
That doesn't look very comfortable.
Put that... Can you save one of them pictures save that into the thing, and I'll see if I remember.
What do you want? This one right here?
At, what are we at? 30 minutes. I said this last time.
Oops.
Cock cage. We'll put that... I'll see if I can put a picture on the YouTube thing. I said that last time in the last episode, and then I forgot all about it, but with that chick.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, have you had sex with the Lord since the last episode? Have you tried that in bed at home?
I have not. I couldn't get a hold of him.
No?
I think he was trying to think I was reaching out to him about car insurance.
It's almost his birthday.
Yeah.
I wouldn't...
But yeah, I mean, I wish he'd got back to me. Maybe it would have really enhanced things. But
well, let me put it this way: have you even had sex since the last episode? I guess we should start with that.
Absolutely.
Do you have sex every day?
Twice yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! Both with the same girl.
That's the trick.
They were both with Jamie or no?
Neither.
Oh shit!
Don't tell her that.
Well, that sucks. I haven't had sex since the last episode. Not even with the Lord.
Maybe that's why I'm so tired out and drawn out.
Like you said, I couldn't get a hold of him.
Took the fucking life right out of me.
I kept pushing one for English, and nobody was picking up.
Yeah, you just kept waiting and waiting.
You know, I can understand not him not speaking English because he speaks to a lot of different people. I can't so much understand.
What I don't
when
understand is
you call
not
an American.
getting back to me though. Why is he going to help out Nita Marie, but he won't help me?
I don't know if she asked for it as much as she just took it from him.
That's true. So he had no option.
Right. She just basically prayed, and then they started fucking.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so cock cage or a paddling, an ass paddling by the Lord.
Daily, mind you. Daily.
But now the cock thing, you have to just put that on and leave it. So apparently for the people that are listening and can't see this picture, even if I remember to put it on the YouTube video, it's basically not a cage that you're in with cocks in it. Like I, for some reason, was in.
It's just your cock in a cage.
Right.
Penetration.
If you put your dick
it's
in
in
this,
the notes.
Oh, you did? Okay. Let me look here. Let me see if I can find it.
All the way at the bottom.
Oh, God.
However, I got to be honest. I said the ass paddling. Now I'm thinking back, though. You only got to wear that for 2 weeks.
Oh, was it?
This says daily ass paddling. So is that daily for the rest of my life?
If that's the case, definitely cock cage.
Yeah.
This thing doesn't even look like it hurts. To be honest with you, you just put it on and it just keeps...
It looks like it would be uncomfortable.
Well, like in your jeans, it would because it's hard and it's not gonna. It's like
And you haven't had anything hard in your jeans in quite some time.
So maybe this is for me. maybe this is for me.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say go with the cock cage. Actually, I don't want to get whacking every.
I mean, I think I'm gonna switch. The only reason now that 2 weeks and it's not specific about the ass padding. Is it 2 weeks? The same 2 weeks? Is it for? I don't know, but. I don't know. That's a weird one, but yeah, I guess.
Well, at first I was going.
I guess I know either way. In 2 weeks, it's done and over with. So, I feel like Satan would really give me a paddle and two, and
yeah, he's not gonna. He's gonna make it count. I think if he's got the opportunity to paddle somebody's ass every day, he's gonna make it count. Yeah, it's got to be. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna hurt. This thing isn't gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt to get paddled.
Some of these are horrible.
The maximum amount of pleasure.
All right, read one more. We'll do 3. Fuck it, since it's the beginning of it.
We're not going to do this one. That one's disgusting. I can't
do it. I want to hear it now.
It's disgusting.
I want to hear it.
My mother listens to this show.
I don't think she'd be worried about that as bad as she would talking about the Lord's. Well, it's my fault. Tell her it's my fault for.
Would you rather shit on your partner's dick every single time you have anal, or every time you jizz/squirt? It's bright green.
That's disgusting. I don't know why you talk about such a fucking
it's
nasty.
Your fault.
I don't know how you'd bring something up.
It'd
like
have
that.
to be bright green for me.
This is unbelievable. I don't even know if I can't. I don't. I didn't really pay enough attention, but I also don't want you to have to read it again. So I kind of would. I don't even want to think about those options. Boy, this was. They got some good questions on there. They're not just simple shit.
It's pretty serious.
Which one are you on?
We'll save this.
Are you on this green and purple one?
Or let's see, 1, 2, 3. 7th one down.
7th one down? Oh,
from the article is 100 would you rathers.
100 would you rathers. That must be up towards the top. Oh yeah, okay. I'm on the wrong one. That's why. And then the ones I was looking at were
the 7th one down is the one I just read.
I'm just gonna pick one here. I don't know how dirty it is or how bad it is, but we'll do a third one for the audience to listen. Would you rather only be able to have sex in public places or be confined to having sex in one specific place for the rest of your life? That was. I wish it was a little dirtier than that, but like I said, I just scrolled down and picked one. Would you rather only be able to have sex in public places or be confined to having sex in one specific place for the rest of your life?
I am going to go with specific place.
I think I'm going to too. Now, I got to put a little.
The
thought
only reason
into this,
being,
but
I'm not opposed to spicing it up, having fun, the thrill of potentially getting caught or anything like that. I guess would probably add to it. Would be cool. But I don't want to get arrested for indecent exposure and ruin that moment. So I'd rather just confine it to one area where I don't have to worry about it and be done.
Well, I was thinking kind of along those same lines. I guess I just wouldn't want to get it interrupted every single time. Like if you had to do it in public every single time, it'd almost be like there's a way bigger chance of getting interrupted. Or at least if you're doing home.
Well, you got to last long enough for that to happen.
You can. So, that's true. If they don't come in 30 or 40 seconds, I'm done anyway.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I would just pick the specific place, and then I'd be worried about spicing it up somewhere from there somehow. Could always decorate the room different, make it look like you're on a beach one day.
There you go.
Without real sand.
Yep, absolutely.
Fucking on a beach sucks anyway. Would you ever fuck on a beach?
No.
Would you?
I wouldn't want the girl on top. I don't want the sand in my ass.
No, I was just gonna say the sand gets everywhere. No matter how careful you are or think you are, even if you're on a towel.
So Scully, have you ever pulled sand from between your balls?
Yeah, you've pulled a hair or something out of there, but I don't. We got to see if he's.
Did you ever pull a great white shark's tooth out of there?
It's Shark Week.
Yeah.
No, it isn't Shark Week. When is Shark? I think that is in.
I feel like that's coming up, right?
Yeah,
I feel like kind of big to do.
I saw something about it on TV. In fact, I'm gonna look it up to see. I never gave a shit, to be honest with you.
I didn't really, but I'm gonna. I like that stuff.
Well, everybody's making such a big deal out of it, especially now that I'm doing a podcast. I kind of want to pay attention to see so I could stay up on shit. Did you mean I must have spelled it wrong? Shark Week. They're not giving a date. July 11th.
Well, Christ,
no.
that's a ways away. That can't.
I thought it was like December. I thought it was winter. I thought it was this month or like next month.
I don't know.
They're doing it on what is this? Discovery Channel. They're talking about
That's what channel it's always on.
And was it just a week long of nothing but shark stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I wish they said when it was. Look at there's so much shit on these websites now. I can't take a a swim down Shark Week 2021 Memory Lane. So that tells me it's already been.
No, because we would have heard about it. It's so big, you would have heard.
I know. It's everybody always talks about it all the time. Every summer, we look forward to the best week of the year, Shark Week. Oh, so I'm completely wrong. I don't know where in my head I was thinking that it was. I don't know the exact date. I still don't see it on here, but summer, it tells me I'm wrong already, so I don't even need to look any further.
Yeah, I felt like you were right, but it shows you how much
I thought it was a winter thing.
It shows you how much I know as well.
I don't know. Some girls I know really get involved in this. Like they can't, they don't make any plans that week or like that Friday night instead. They used to back when I was younger.
Well, that's just what they use as their excuse.
Oh, that's true. Well, I've been with them. But they don't. I don't pay no attention.
Apparently, you haven't. You just said they don't want to do nothing during Shark Week, so you weren't with them.
Well, no. I mean, they just want to sit home and watch this fucking Shark Week instead of like normally they go out and drink, get drunk, and everything. Like it's a big deal to them, and I don't understand it.
It's fucking sharks.
Who fucking cares? I don't understand the big deal.
You will. It takes a chunk right out of your goddamn
I don't swim in the fucking ocean for that reason because I don't like Shark Week.
I was watching a TikTok last night of a guy that got bit in the head by an alligator.
Really?
They were diving. They were diving for shark teeth and artifacts, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And fucker got him right in the head. No, it didn't kill him. He lived, but he was pretty messed up.
Yeah, I believe it.
They went back after the fact, after he was healed, and dove for his GoPro. So they actually got it on film. But you can't see anything.
Oh, it was like
you see him like diving underwater, swimming. Next thing you know, you see him like flustering around, and like the water turns red around him, and then you just watch his GoPro slowly sink to the bottom. It hits the bottom, and that's it. It doesn't actually show anything. So
I would imagine New York Times is such a dick. You can't do anything. They want you to subscribe.
Put it in a cock cage.
I'm not going to subscribe to your fucking website. Drives me nuts. Anyway, it was nothing important anyway. It was about this metaverse thing. Some chick on Instagram had her handle on there, or screen name, however you want to say it, was metaverse, spelled exactly the way they did. She goes to log on the other day, it's just gone. They just kicked her the fuck off.
Well, of course.
And she used it she had all sorts of pictures on there and all sorts of everything on there. And the reason I saved this article was more not even on her side. And at first I could understand. I was like, man, she spent all these years and built up this following.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you quick. Did she have this name forever, or did she just make this name once she found out that's what?
No, she's, according to that article that I can't read now because they want you to subscribe to it on here for some reason. It pisses me off. But according to that article, she had this for years.
And they just decided to change their name.
Yeah.
So if Facebook decided to become back and forth with Wes and Mike, they're going to just fucking...
Right. Yeah, more or less.
That's horse shit.
And that's what I thought in the beginning. And I felt bad for her because I have an Instagram that I've worked hard on, and some of these...
To get all your followers.
Captions and shit that I write.
All the editing
like
you do, the photo. Absolutely.
People follow that from post to post, and I try to make a story almost like reading a book.
At least if they're going to take it, give you time to back it up so you can save everything that's on it.
Nope, she just went to go on. It was no longer available. It was gone or whatever she said. It was just gone. And I could see what they did because they came out with this metaverse thing, and they wanted that name so that they can make their own Instagram page about it. And at first I was with you. I said, that's fucking bullshit. And I still am. I still think it's bullshit. They didn't give her a chance to back it up or do anything about it.
They could have sent her an email.
Something.
This is what's going on. We're going to give you 72 hours to clean your shit off because we're closing down your account.
But at the same time, people forget that Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all these things that they have their lives on are privately owned. So at any given day, Facebook could just shut the fuck off, and everybody be like, "Oh, what?" Like when Facebook goes down and people are all in a fucking fluster about it. Yeah, it's like, don't forget, this is a convenience to you to have Facebook. This isn't a right of yours. And like I said, I still think it sucks for that girl, but Instagram is owned by a private company.
Would you feel that same way though if it happened to you? You think?
I'd be pissed, but what are you gonna do? It's not like I can go to court about it. They're just gonna say they own it. They do whatever the fuck they want with it. It's no different than me, you or me going into Bill's Cafe and they're like, I don't like your haircut. I'm not serving you a sandwich. Well, so what are we gonna do about it? It's their fucking cafe.
You can cause a stink for that and shut them down.
Well, are you talking about that cake? Somebody went into a cake shop somewhere.
This was a while ago, wasn't it? Though about being homosexual gays or something.
Yeah, they were having a wedding cake made for a gay wedding, and they wouldn't.
I wasn't talking about that, but I do know what you're talking about. I am familiar with it. And
to be honest with you, and this is in no way anything to do with the homosexual part of it, I agree with the shop owner.
Me too.
Only because it's no different than this Instagram thing. I think it's horrible that they couldn't get their cake made. However, it is his shop. If you come in,
unfortunately, that's his belief, I guess.
I mean, it sucks.
Right or wrong.
Right, exactly.
He is the owner, and that is his belief, just as if we're all entitled to our own beliefs.
I don't necessarily agree with his belief on it, and I think I would have just made the fucking cake if I owned that. However, this is America, and you're entitled to your own beliefs on this stuff. So,
well, that's it with me, too.
What he did really wasn't wrong, as far as I'm concerned. And not to mention how many other cake shops are there. Just go to another one then. Why would you want to patronize that company that you didn't agree with?
You couldn't get what you wanted, so now you want to.
Well, and that's right, and that's I think what it turned into is more drama.
It became more
than the
personal.
worry about
it became
the
more
homosexuality.
personal. It became more personal at that point, as rather than it was about the cake.
Right, they just wanted to be right.
It was just personal.
Right, but in reality, I mean, they like I say about the cafe thing. You and me could walk in there with red shoes. The guy's like, I don't like people with red shoes. What the fuck? Okay, well, it's your shop. I don't know what to tell you. I guess I'll just go to the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really no different. But because everything with the media and everything has been so big about gay rights and stuff, which I agree with, but I think it all I think they used it. I think the media used it to get their point across. And I almost feel worse about that as far as people that believe in same-sex marriage.
Here's my thing
it's like they're using their beliefs, their same-sex marriage beliefs, as a stepping stone to get the media's point across.
Well, here's the thing. Back to the media again, though. They ruin everything. I don't give a shit. Here's the thing. Think about it before you got this cancel culture bullshit or whatever, all this racism bullshit or these gays. Before that was a big to-do in the news and they started making big things about it, like, okay, the thing with the cake or whatever. Think of how many times you were in contact or around somebody that was gay or whatever, or had different beliefs, they like Biden and you don't, or you like Biden and they don't, and you just never knew it. And life went on, right? It wasn't a big deal. You walked by me in a grocery store, you didn't even know I was gay. Right. Whether I was or wasn't, it didn't matter to you. You didn't know. It didn't change the fact of who I was. I might have said hi to you, and you said hi back. We were friendly. As soon as it comes about this big gay thing, now everybody's against everybody.
Right.
The media is literally doing that.
My point exactly. It's almost like the media is taking this gay thing and turning it into such a bad thing.
I'm not gay. But I have no problem whatsoever with somebody that is. It does not affect my life whatsoever.
Right.
I go to Stewart's right now and get a coffee, and there's nothing but gay guys in there, and I'm going to get my coffee, say, hey, how are you? I'm going to walk out. My life's not going to change. I don't give a shit. But because of the media, they're going to make it a big to-do, and that's my point with what I was getting at. The media.
And no different with the racist
Exactly.
Stuff. Yep.
No, I'm around hundreds of different people of ethnicity, blacks, Mexicans, you name it. I don't ever have a fucking problem. I don't give a shit. All of a sudden on the news, now you hear about that. Now everybody hates everybody because of the media making it that way.
Right.
I spent my whole entire life, 37 years, around different people of race and color or whatever, or what they believe in as far as their sexuality. I've never had a problem with any of them.
Right.
Now all of a sudden the news makes it a problem with everybody. Fuck you. It's bullshit. And that's exactly what they want, though.
Right. They're doing it for a reason.
They want to divide everybody.
I don't know why, but they are.
Yeah.
Why do you feel they're doing that? What do you benefit?
I don't know. I mean, it's about money and control. Why do they want the control? I don't know, but that's what it's about.
Well, there's something that I've been hearing. I don't know if this is a conspiracy thing or if it's an actual, if there's some type of a basis to it. But from what I understand, China could be starting this. They're like putting it in our ear because there was some article. Again, this could be a false article. It could be bullshit.
You don't know what to believe anymore.
But right at that point, I'm almost. As much as you don't want to believe the bullshit, it's almost like it's things are getting so weird with all the media that I'm like, well, maybe the bullshit stuff is right since the stuff that I thought was real is wrong.
Basically, I'll hear about it or read about it, and then I'll just wait until another article says, yes, this really happened. Then go, okay, I guess it wasn't bullshit. Because I don't know what to believe anymore.
I have no idea.
And I don't feed into it because it's just ridiculous.
They were saying that China has something to do with that, and they're trying to break us down. Now, again, take this for what it is, whether you think it's a conspiracy or not. China's trying to break us down before they make a move to take over or shut our economy down or become the superpower of the world.
We're already the laughing stock, so if that's the case, it's working. Because we're now the laughing stock where we used to be a force to be reckoned with and feared, and now we're laughed about, literally.
Right. I have no clue if that's what China is doing or not, but I feel like it is a possibility.
Anything's a possibility.
Right. I guess that's my thought about it. Anything is a possibility. It's the same thing we go back about the UFO stuff. Anything is a possibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't rule it out. And a country like China has the power to do stuff like that. And just like we do, you can put these little bugs in the internet and stuff and get things twisted here a little bit and just start off slowly.
Depends on where you go. You can
do what
I could find an article on the internet probably within 10 minutes to match any belief that I have in my head, no matter how. I could pull up an article that rum chata gives you cancer, and I could probably find a fucking article on the internet that says that.
Sure.
As retarded as that sounds, and crazy as it sounds, I bet you I could find an article to do that.
And if there ain't one there, people can make one up and put out whatever they want, apparently. Media isn't about the truth anymore. They're just about clicks. And internet is another... Internet and social media has really fucked this entire country.
I know.
Not just relationships and shit that we've talked about, but...
That's what I was going to say. We started out with relationships and stuff, how it ruins it. But you're right, 100%.
I mean, even beyond that, it literally just fucks everybody, because now the media doesn't even tell the truth. I don't care if you believe in Fox, CNN, MSNBC,
none of them
any
truthful.
of them. Right. Everything now is about clicks because it's all on the internet, and you only get paid. Trust me, I know from like YouTube and doing the social media stuff. Obviously, I'm not on that level, but I only get paid when you click on ads.
So whatever it takes, you want somebody to click on your shit,
right? So these people start coming out with these headlines about shit, and
you want to be the first one to get the story, the juicy story,
right? Yep. And you throw shit out there before you even know all the facts, and it's no different with what's going on with the.
It's working.
It sure does. It sure does. Well, it's naturally because I'll come on here and I'll read something about the vaccination killed such and such a people, and I'm like, oh well, let's check that out. Well, then you find out that ain't even true, but they put that as the title anyway because now you've clicked on it and you've gone into their site and they've made money.
So they've already got what they wanted. They're clickbait.
So I don't really know if social media has ruined it or money has ruined it.
Both, all of the above.
I guess it kind of works hand in hand. Because they make money off of social media now.
Money's the root of all evil, period, no matter what. So.
Sure. Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, money and religion are the two biggest causes for wars in the world ever, period. We're going on 2 hours, or we're going on 1 hour.
I was say 2 hours. That was the fastest episode we ever did.
When we come back from the break, let's do 18 things he's secretly dying for you to try in bed.
This could be juicy.
Or we do one for... I feel like I do something for the girls that listen, so they can have something. Well, I guess it's 18 things.
So this could be he's secretly dying.
18 things he's secretly dying for you to try in bed. And then I'm going to read these, and I want to see what our thoughts, if that's even true. Because a couple of them I read off the air last night, and I was like, that's bullshit. I don't give a fuck about that. So I guess it's more just to see if other people agree with us. And
well, we got to get a lot more girls to get involved and email us after this too to let us know. We got to get a female guest.
Well, that's coming, but we got Christmas coming. It's a pain in the ass to get people here right now. Everybody's out shopping. Anyways, we'll be back in a little bit.
It's a big sexy world of sex out there, people having intercourse everywhere, so many types of sex to choose. We understand if you're confused. We need a guide for these sexy times with confidence and seductive chimes. He lives up in a secret lair and he's not a fan of underwear.
Sex.
All right, we're back from break. In the break...
That was a long one.
That was really long. Well, I did a lot of sound stuff. We did a lot of talk. We actually had kind of like a meeting in the midst of our break. I think we've talked to you guys before about how we were going to do a little bit more structured show here. And I feel like a lot of stuff that we talk about is sex. A lot of stuff with like relationship shit. Not that we have any fucking clue what we're doing with it, but we talk about it.
And just screwing around.
And we added that hypothetical thing to the first segment. So the second segment, since we said before we left for the break, they're going to bring up 18 things that he's dying for you to try. And we're going to go over them, and you guys listening can either decide for yourself, or me and Mike will talk about whether or not it's real or not. The first thing, number 11 on here, since we don't have any... Since we just talk about whatever the fuck we want anyways, and
we really don't have any
limits. It seems like nothing...
We basically established the point that we don't have any limits.
Right.
There's really nothing that we won't or haven't talked about.
I mean, we've talked about animal sex. I mean, I think that's the limit.
To the point that my mother said she can't count sheep when she sleeps.
Right. I'm certainly not going to give people tips on how to do that, but we talk about it because it's a weird article that came up. But number 11, we'll start right off on a note here. On this list of 18 things that guys are dying for you to try. So for the women, you'll know this stuff. For the men, you guys can either agree or not agree. Most of the men we spoke with confided that they're interested in trying or having more anal sex.
Do something taboo.
That was the title of it, Do Something Taboo. The almost forbidden nature of this act and the vulnerability it requires from you to make it something men really want to experience but don't want to suggest out of fear of offending you. I don't bring it up because I don't care about it.
Really?
If a girl doesn't want it, I don't care. In fact, I don't bring it up because I just don't have any interest in doing it. I don't know why. It doesn't feel any better to me.
Is it fear of offending her, or you just don't give a shit?
I don't like to
or
offend
both?
people. I don't like to offend people.
I'm being serious for what I'm saying.
On serious note,
is it that
no.
and you don't care about? Or you just
I just don't. It just does nothing to. So like head, for instance, I don't really care about. I mean, it's nice, it's fine, but I don't really care. Like if a girl's not into it, it doesn't bother me at all. So the anal thing, if she's thinking about doing that, I don't care. Like, don't go out of your way thinking about it.
It's not a make or break thing for you?
No. Is it you?
It's not a make or break.
No.
But
yeah, so I don't in fact, I got a little song here that we found during the break. Might be a little much for some of the listeners, but hey,
don't listen around your kids.
I mean, there's no limits here on this show. I'm back and forth with Wes and Mike.
Don't try to stick it in all quick, or you'll end up with some shit on your dick. Don't try to swim in my foot.
He's over there laughing. Anybody that's not watching on YouTube, he's over here laughing at it.
How can you not laugh?
Oh, it's hilarious. I thought we should share it with you guys.
Ain't gonna do it. Got the Hershey square.
This is all for you guys.
Dingleberries all in your balls. You want the noodle? I'm gonna give it.
Got a good beat.
It's quite a catchy song.
Sure is.
My
I like
foot's
it.
going. Look at me.
You want some butt sex? You want a minute, but not tonight in my anus. You want my poopa? You want a pound?
Oh my God, I don't know what's becoming of this fucking show, but they're right there. You know all the things that I sign us up for.
We're either going to scare them away or draw them in. One of the two.
I think at this point the people that listen can find our humor and know what they're in for.
They kind of have to.
New listeners are going to be in for a surprise when they get to segment 2 on episode 14. I'll tell you that. But they should know by now. I mean, I hope they don't. If they start listening to it, it is what it is.
Yeah, if they just start out on episode 14,
they're going to know. They're going to know.
There is going to be a little E for explicit next to it, as there is all of them.
I checked them out.
Take that into consideration.
Every place that I sign up for always asks you, what is your podcast about? And I have no clue what to tell them. Now I can tell them.
Poop Noodle.
Poop Noodle is the name of that song. If you guys want to look that up on YouTube, that is an actual song. I didn't make that up. Obviously, it's a woman singing. It's on YouTube.
That was Wes. Nobody could tell.
The singer is Wendy Ho, which is pretty good looking. And the name of the song is
Wendy,
Poop Noodle. So I thought that was a cool thing to share for number 11 while we're on it. So in an effort to start this new segment that maybe we'll do in every episode, we got to work out the details. As always, we're figuring shit out on the fly here. But let's start the sex segment. I feel like we did the hypothetical one. We'll do a sex segment now and then a relationship segment at the end.
And then at the end of that, we'll do a speech one.
A speech one?
To teach you how to talk.
Oh, I get you.
Penetration and allow the orgasm to happen.
I want to fuck.
Penetration.
You're in more dire need of a blowjob than any white man in history.
If I had to choose between oral sex and birthday cake, oral sex would always win. The maximum amount of pleasure.
You know what cake is for, right?
Eating.
Like Cake on the Ocean, you know that song? Cake is a word for ass.
Oh, is it?
That whole song is about ass on the ocean, or in the beach is what they're talking about, but by the ocean.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, I didn't know either till a couple years ago. Anyway, number 1 on the list of 18 things he's secretly dying for you to try in bed. Number 1, do it with the lights on. I completely agree. You may be worried about what your husband thinks of your post-breastfeeding boobs, your C-section scar, or that at some point he'll stop being attracted to you because you look a lot different than you did on your wedding day. But men rarely notice your self-perceived flaws. I agree with that. A lot of things women are worried about that I'm going to think is
I don't
weird.
even give it a thought.
I never even noticed it until she brought it up. Yep. I think the lights on is a big one.
I don't care about that one way or the other, though.
Well, I don't, if they need them off, I don't care. But it would spice it up for me if a girl always needed them
I
off.
just gotta feel. I figure if the light's on and they actually see what they're about to have sex with, I'd probably never get laid.
Oh, so you're the one that has perceived. You're worried about what they're thinking. You just answered your own question. Maybe the girls don't give a shit about you.
Well,
it's not like you're hiding the fat under that fucking coat. We know what you look like.
Oh, it doesn't make me look thinner?
No, not really.
Oh, so I should wear something different?
If anything, there's about an inch of layer on there. You look smaller when you take your clothes off in the light.
Well, yeah.
They know what they're getting.
Okay.
What they're getting into.
If you get naked, you actually look skinnier. All right,
sure.
Peter fucking Griffin.
Number 2, and this is a big one for me. Touch yourself. Some women and men might find this a tad embarrassing, but hear us out. Watching a confident woman fully connect to her sexuality is a huge turn-on for us. I agree completely.
So do I.
There's no bigger turn-on out of this entire list, I don't think, than a girl that does that while you're having sex with her.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one. Remember that.
Sometimes you can
and
just
you guys
stop,
listening, maybe if you don't agree, I don't.
Just stop in the middle of it and let them do it.
Oh, yeah.
And just enjoy the show for a few minutes.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Penetration.
Number 3, use your mouth. Call us Captain Obvious, but I can't stress this enough. We love getting blowjobs.
Unless you're Wes.
Well, I mean, they're fine. I like it, but I don't care. If it's like the anal thing. If they're not into it, I don't care. Good, that's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. I'm sure there's a lot of people listening right now that love it.
I'm sure they're probably like, "What is wrong with you?"
But
no asking
or begging, or I think that's the big thing is that you got to just do it. I think that's a big one with me, and I don't know if it's on this list, but just take like control. I don't want them to be the dominant one, but just like come up, like don't be confident. You know what I mean?
To tell you what to do, like you just do it.
Right. It is so hard.
I don't feel like coaching you. I'm not a fucking coach here.
And I'm not gonna say nothing. So if you don't do it, it's just not gonna get done, and then that's one less step we could have taken in bed that would have made things better. Just do shit on your own. Just decide on your own what you're gonna do.
Exactly.
For number 4, be vocal. We're not suggesting frighteningly fake porn star moans, but men want to know when you're enjoying yourself. I think I don't really care so much about this. And in fact, I think sometimes moaning becomes fake, and that's a huge turnoff.
I think you can tell when it's fake, though.
Sure. So, yeah. If they add too much to it, that's a turnoff. So that's a touchy when you can't bring it to like that level, but then don't go over that level, or it does the opposite effect.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 5.
Commands, fuck me harder, can make us freeze up. See, I don't know.
Command? What do you mean? Fuck.
That's number 4 still. I was just reading that quick before you skipped over.
Oh, yeah.
Just saying,
make you freeze up?
That's what it says.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
I don't know.
I like that. I think talking and moaning is different. I'd much rather a talker than a moaner.
Yeah, I agree.
What does it say? I love it when you fuck me hard. Oh yeah. All right. I'm liking this already.
Yeah, we better stop this episode. We better stop this talk. Wes is over here getting excited.
If they say that, you never say that to me. Why? Why don't you ever tell me that?
Because I don't want you to.
Number 5, focus on his sensitive spots. The tip of his penis should be paid special attention, says Valentine. Handle with care, but know that a flick of the tongue here or there will leave your husband.
That's true. It's sensitive.
Speechless. Really? I don't care about that. I guess that's part of the head thing. I just don't care. Is that a good one for you? Would you say number 5 is a good one?
Well, it is, but it's sensitive.
I wonder what people... the thing about a podcast or / radio show or whatever the hell, it's like you talk about this, but I don't actually know what people are thinking at home or in their car. Like, are they agreeing with this?
I can only imagine.
I guess it gives them things. I guess it doesn't matter what they...
Well, we tell everybody to reach out to us anyway. This is one way to do it. They're either going to email us telling us we're fucking dirty pigs and they're not listening anymore, or...
That's the whole reason we're starting these segments is everybody has sex, first of all. Or knows about sex, or they wouldn't even be here to listen to the fucking show. It's just we're willing to fucking talk about it.
Exactly.
Everybody has relationship issues. Not that we know anything about what, especially me. I have no fucking idea about
we might come up with ideas that other people might, as an outsider view.
Sure, they might have not have thought about it, and we did, or
not
something.
That we know what we're talking about, but we might just say something that you'd be like, oh, shit, yeah, maybe you're right. And
so, and shit like that. I don't know. I just think it's important. Everybody, but... We're going to do it. Other podcasts aren't going to talk about it. We're
not scared.
No,
we're going to stand out.
That's what it is, and that's right. And that's how we're going to stand out. Go listen to some
good or bad. We're going
podcast about a mystery theater or about crime podcast or something, or come here if you want to hear some fucking...
Basically be yourself.
Some humor.
With no limits.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, number 6, get frisky anywhere but in bed. That's another big one for me. Men fantasize about having sex in different places. While routine sex has its place, he sometimes wants to do something different, and that's good for you too. One day, head to IKEA in search of a fox bearskin rug.
Bearskin rug.
I'm thinking about that fox. F-A-U-X. I've seen that, but I don't know exactly what it means. Spare him the trip and get wild in front of your fireplace, or simply straddle him on the couch while the kids are at a sleepover. Just make sure the TV is turned off behind you. Yeah, that's a good one. I think 6 is an important one. If there's any girls listening, not that they, maybe this is what I mean. It's just what we think. I don't know what all guys think.
This might be something we'll have to come back to this when we get a female guest.
Yes,
we'll
and
bring
get
it up
their,
now.
see what their
Whether
thoughts
it's 2
are.
3 episodes, we'll be like, so we want to go back to. So we'll keep this article, and then when we have a female here,
I
get
agree with
her
that.
point of view right here on the spot.
Because it could be completely different than what we think. Of course, this isn't about them. This is what guys want the girl to do.
Exactly.
Unknowingly what they want the girl to do.
But you could look at it a girl's point of view, like, do you want to do this?
Maybe
do you
sure.
enjoy it? Do you think this would turn the man on?
Right. Maybe they're wondering if they should be doing any of this. And again, I don't agree with a lot of this. Number 7, slow down. We've all been there. You're totally exhausted and trying to get it over with. Or you're simply caught up in what's happening and your body naturally goes fast, but decelerating can be powerful. Men like being able to feel everything and to have time to explore. For example, if you're performing oral sex, take him all the way in and out very slowly so that he's just barely touching your mouth. Once you're done teasing him, you can go full throttle. But in the beginning, a light technique goes a long way. What's your thoughts on that?
Agree.
Slow down?
I agree.
Really?
Well, fast and slow.
All right.
Not just slow the whole time, but basically mix it up. Like you're saying, take it all, don't. Half.
I guess it all depends on the mood, too. Sometimes I'm like, all right, let's not bother with all this shit. Let's just get it over with. Like a quickie, don't.
You don't seem to care about much, basically. You seem more like the type,
not really.
You want to just walk in, have him already laying on the bed, fucking stick it to him, get him out, and be done.
Yeah, it's easy.
No foreplay, no
Easy
real talk,
peasy.
Don't touch my dick. I'll get it hard by myself. I don't even need you for that. While I'm making it hard, get your fucking clothes off, get in my bed, and I'll let you know when I'm done.
I mean, I like all this stuff. I just don't know if I have a huge opinion on it to help women well, it ain't going to help men, but to help women that are listening. I don't really have a whole lot of, you seem to have more of an opinion on it. Number 8, show off your acting chops. Many married men worry they're going to get bored of having sex with just one woman. That's why role-playing is effective, in addition to having... All right.
I don't agree with that one.
No, I do, kind of. I don't...
Depends on what girl you're with. Do the role play, and she's going to kick your fucking ass. Oh, so you really like Susie then, huh? You want me?
Well, I don't know if you should bring up, like, actual people. Like, don't role-play as your ex or something like that.
I'll bring Jesus into it.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, don't take a sex scene out of the Bible.
I mean, I think Carrie Underwood is gorgeous. I'm not gonna. Hey, Jamie.
I guess I'm picturing more like you come home from work and she's like the maid lady.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
fair enough.
And it kind of leads, or like the dentist or something. She acts like she's the dentist.
What if you really have a maid or a dentist though? Then if most of you're gonna
then it's not.
So what do you think your dentist is hot? You want your dentist? But
well, I imagine you'd have to be with a girl that somewhat trusts you and isn't a fucking psycho lunatic to do something.
They all are, aren't they?
They all can be, I suppose.
They're all going to listen to this, be like, "Fuck you, Mike, you fucking asshole."
No. Number 9, never underestimate the power of foreplay. Sure, guys have a reputation for wanting to get it on within seconds, but don't forget that the build-up can be just as hot. Whether it's a sexy text you send to get him excited, or slowly disrobing. What's that?
I'm huge into foreplay. I like that.
I like that whole text thing. If I'm in the middle of the day at work and I get a text or a picture like that or something, that's huge by the time I get home. But the problem is
by the time you get home, you're done. You're like, fuck it.
Well, but by the time I get home, it's almost like that's why the rush is. Now it's been basically foreplay all fucking day. I walk in and then they want to do another 2 hours of it. It's like, well, I've been waiting for this since fucking 11. It's now 5 o'clock at night. Yeah. I don't want to put in another 2 hours, I think. But that's a big one. I do like that. I think foreplay that.
You don't like to put in work for nothing, I'm saying.
Well, I've been putting it in since like 11 o'clock, just so I could put it in when I get home.
Yeah.
Number 10, let him dominate you. Couples so often get into a sex routine. Same time of night, same place, same position. And while your husband may not make an active move to change things, men want to have the power to switch up patterns and total control. Get out one of his silk ties, have him bind your hands together, and let him take it from there. We suspect you won't regret. What do you feel about
I'm not into that shit.
No, I guess to that level I'm all right with it. If she wants to do it, I'm fine. I don't like the chains and the fucking weird leather shit and like the whips and stuff. I don't like any of that. Or like the tools and stuff.
That, and I'd never let a woman dominate me. I don't like that either.
No, well, no, this is saying let
No,
him...
I know, but that's what...
Oh, so what's the point? I'm
not into that. Like, exactly like you're saying, tying them up and shit. At the same time, I'm not into letting them do it to me regardless.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not so much that I'm against like the whips and stuff. It's just that I don't want to be that guy. I mean, you see like on porns and stuff, it's like these guys just lay there and let the women walk all over them and shit. Like I'm not, that's not me. I'm not in there for that.
Like whipping me and shit. Like, no.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't like the tickling stuff.
Punching my ball sack. Like, no.
Oh my God. There's some weird. I remember I was in Vegas one time. You give a guy a $20 bill to kick him in the nuts. I imagine he had some type of a cup or something on. But yeah, give him $20 and he let you kick him in the nuts.
Did you do it?
Up. No, I didn't gonna spend $20 on that.
So you did it for free.
Yeah. So he kicked me in the nuts and away we went. That was the end of that. No, that is true. I've seen him down there. We went over 11 so that we could bring in the jingle. Number 12, touch the unexpected places. Did you know that men have a lot of places that can be erogenous? Oh, it's erogenous, but they forgot to put the space between of and that of places besides the penis. There are semi-obvious places like a guy's torso or inner thoughts. I think they meant thighs.
That's what I was thinking too, but
don't forget lesser thought of sexy sports like his temples or behind his knees. I don't know. I don't care about it. This shit. Doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if it happened, it would be a different story.
I gotta tell you right now, if a girl tickles my knee, she's gonna get it.
Yeah, I kick. I just naturally kicked. I don't even help it.
You're gonna get it, baby.
13, indulge his fantasy. Sometimes it just pays to ask. Just like no two women are the same, no two men are the same, and neither are their fantasies. Ask your partner what his ultimate sexy wish is, and then indulge exactly that. Whether he's been dying to see you in a certain type of lingerie, or have you dominate him. You'll only know if you ask. Assuming you're in a healthy, honest relationship, he'll be happy to open up. You know, the domination thing, I don't know.
That's huge. People are in
it. It is. I don't know what that entails. Is that like choking? Is that which... I sound like such a prude, but I'm not really into that either. Some girls are like, no, choke me, and it's like, no, you can't breathe already. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know how deep to go with that.
Yeah, once your big fat ass gets on top, there ain't much breathing left.
They already can't breathe. What do you need my hand around your throat for?
They're already fucking panting like a dog.
Yep. I don't know. So I don't understand. I guess I would just have to be shown or told with the whole dominating thing. You know what comes to mind?
Maybe you want to be dominated.
No, I certainly don't. I can tell you I don't want that. You know what comes into mind is that movie, 50 Shades of Grey. Where and girls love that. They love that fucking movie. Room. There was moms everywhere dying to go see that movie and read that book. And that was all about that. Like, she worked with him or something.
And they're not even into it, so I don't get it.
Yeah. I don't, but they find out that they're into. I think that was like the part that the girls thought it was sexy about it. Was like it was something that they don't ever get from their husbands, and I suppose it's different at our age than it is when you're 60. I mean, a lot of this shit probably doesn't work when you're that age, or maybe it should, but I don't know. Number 14, dress up. Never ever underestimate the power of a see-through teddy to get your guy standing tall. Anything that makes a woman feel good in her body and sexually confident is very sexy. I'll agree with that. What I don't. Again, Mr. Prude here, I don't care about lingerie. To me, a girl puts that on, you walk in the room, they take it off, and you have sex. I mean, there's a lot more in between there, but...
It's basically about the foreplay, though, and amping it up.
So you put that on, and then...
So she sends you a picture while you're at work at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Well, okay.
Then you get home at 4 in the afternoon, and you walk in, and she's in this fucking maid suit, or whatever.
Which I said I would like.
Whatever the case may be. It could be a fucking gingerbread soup, but you know what I'm getting at. It could be anything. So you're like,
gingerbread man in my fucking kitchen.
You know, it could be the Michelin man. Whichever you like, Kenny.
Oh, fuck.
But, you walk in the door, it could be exciting to, like, kind of keep it going.
So you would like that if a girl did that if you came home?
I'm not opposed to that. I'm not, again,
I
that's
think
not
the whole thing comes down
I certainly would not be opposed and would not enjoy it, I guess.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's a lot of mine. I mean, we joke with me that I don't put any effort in. A lot of these I would enjoy, but I just don't really care so much. Like it doesn't bother me.
If I come home and a girl's in a sexy negligee or whatever, I'm not going to be like, go put some clothes on and we're, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, let's do this.
So you would, I think the point...
Of course, it depends on if they wear them crotchless panties. Sometimes they do. You think to yourself, if it did that to the panties, I don't know what it's going to do to me.
I feel like I heard that somewhere at some stand-up.
Yeah,
yep. To me, I think it's more about that they just choose this stuff without asking. Like you don't.
That's huge.
If at 10 o'clock in the morning you're like, hey, do you want me to wear lingerie tonight? That's already over.
Yeah,
like that's done. You
it's
can't.
Not I don't want to have to tell you.
Right.
I don't want to have to tell you to blow me.
And not like a
I don't want to have to
controlling
tell
way.
you to
I
get
know
on
what you're
top.
saying. I just don't want to bring it up, and then because it ruins the whole point of it is the spontaneity,
spontaneity,
something. That's the whole point of it to me. So if you ask me or I tell you.
Might as well
first of
not.
all, like I said, I won't even bother tell you because if I know that if I tell you to do something, it's just not gonna happen. So that doesn't work.
Hey, do you want me to send you a picture of my titties on lunch? Like, no, don't bother.
Yeah,
I'll just eat my sandwich now.
Yeah, I know.
It's
yeah.
not-
Or tomorrow morning, you'll wake up to a surprise. Like I don't care. Like I don't. It's because you got to just do it. And that's the whole part about it.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Let's see, where are we? Expand your menu.
You skipped 15.
I know. Because I have family members that listen to this shit.
So do I. You had me read those dirty questions.
Number 15. Indulge in some prostate play. There's a lot of people listening right now that will not admit to this, I'm sure.
That they've done it.
And they probably liked it, but they won't admit to it.
I can tell you, I've heard
a lot about it.
Exactly.
I sure have. The prostate might be the new territory for you, or it might be new territory for you and your guy. Or maybe he's been too shy to ask for a finger up his butt. But don't leave the prostate unattended.
Well, in your particular case, you said, I'm not going to ask, so... if she doesn't you're not going to ask for it. If she's not going to do it on her own,
that's kind of why I didn't want to read this. I've been telling people I'm not going to ask, so just surprise me with shit. That'd be a hell of a surprise.
I was just going to say, all of a sudden, you'll forget all about that negligee when all of a sudden that finger goes up your ass.
I don't know. Maybe I'd like it. I have no idea.
Should be like a puppet. Wes, speak.
Yeah, she'd be the dominant one then. She'd be talking for me. She'd be moving my fucking jaw and shit.
Yep. Oh, that could be funny.
Oh, God. Number 16, expand your menu. We're going to get right off 15 because I know nobody's going to admit to that anyway. But they'll have something to think about while they're driving along or eating dinner with their children in the room or
something they're going to try now.
Maybe. And give it a shot. Apparently, it's a big thing now. Number 16, expand your menu. It's easy for any couple to get in a sexual rut. What happens in a relationship is everything you like and your partner like stays on the menu. But anything either of you doesn't like isn't tried. So make a list of yes, no, not for now, and over time as you develop the intimacy, the safety, and the connection.
So basically goals.
I just don't like sex that you have to have a fucking safe word for. If I have to have a safe word to get out of a situation in the bedroom, I feel like that's not for me. I don't know. Maybe I just need to broaden my horizons. I don't know.
Sounds to me like you haven't lived, really.
Not in the bedroom, really. I don't know. I mean, I'll try shit, but not like, I don't know. A lot of this is... Number 17, incorporate a toy. Think sex toys are just for when you want to get off solo? Think again. There are plenty of sex toys out there that are meant for both of you. You could also give him a sexy show and let him watch you use your new favorite vibrator. That's a good one.
I agree with that.
I like that one. Mm-hmm. I tried to ring one time. A girlfriend got it for me back when I was younger. I don't see any benefit to it. It didn't. I mean, maybe it turned her on or something. I didn't.
What size was it? You still got it?
I was thinking small. I lost it. You can't find shit that small. It's like a spring that drops out when you're working on a car. It's just gone in the gravel.
Instead of buying one, I just figured I'd borrow it.
You'd want to put that on you?
You probably only used it for once for 15 seconds.
Weirdo. I don't know. I didn't even like it. Well, apparently she didn't like it either because she didn't seem to care that was the end of that. It just didn't do nothing. So maybe there's other stuff.
Maybe there's a different way to do it. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, I do like the idea of them doing it.
Agreed.
There is one listener that I will not say any names, but there's one listener that knows all about this stuff, and I'd love to have her on here to talk about this stuff.
I know exactly who you're talking about. And she could probably add a few things to it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So again, there you go. Case in point, though, there's one that they're into that different stuff. Like,
right. So tell us why. Maybe they'll change my opinion.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Or, of course, maybe they won't. Maybe they don't want everybody to know either.
Yeah, well, that's true, right? Yeah, when you're talking here and people, then you got to talk about
it's a little
the name
different
of
if it's
it.
just like me, you, and her or whatever. It's a lot different when it's
right
going on
here. We got to say the name so they know.
Yeah.
Number 18, talk dirty. This is your chance to get creative. There are plenty of super sexy things women can say to men in bed that will make the experience hotter for both of you. Because, let's be real, There's nothing more attractive than someone who's open about what she likes.
Agree 100% on that as well.
Yes, I think that's a big one too.
Got to be vocal.
Yep.
I'll tell you right now.
That's a big one. Even the moaning, like we talked about earlier, that's great.
You got to make
love
me
that
feel,
too,
even if I suck in bed, you got to tell me I'm doing great. I don't care. Just lie to me. I don't give a shit.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, I mean, maybe afterwards, but don't do it then because it's going to fuck up the whole thing.
Mhm.
If you say, hey, you suck at this, it's like, well, then let's just end this then.
Well, yeah, don't tell me that.
What's the? I mean, tell me, but like afterwards, don't. You got to let me know.
No, actually, don't tell me at all. I'd rather just don't ever talk to me again.
Yeah, just ghost me and I'll know.
Yeah, and then I'll just figure it out.
So that was 18 things that guys want girls. Let's see, 18 things he's secretly dying for you to try in bed. There was a handful of them that I agree with.
There's a couple, but I like to say dying for you to try in bed. I don't necessarily like to leave the light on. It's not like I'm like, dude, I got to hurry up and get home to have sex with the light on tonight. I just can't.
Right.
I can't get the thought of that out of my fucking head.
Right.
I can't stop. Like, you know what I mean?
I think they should call it something like 18 things that maybe you should try.
Something
or something
different. Not, you know,
they make it sound like that's this new thing.
I could give two shits whether that light's on or off. There was,
Right.
you know what I mean? There was some things on there I agree with, obviously, but there was some on there too where I'm like,
I think the prostate thing, I don't like that idea. Maybe I'm just not open-minded enough. I don't know.
I can tell you I'm not.
I just don't know if I don't know if I want to be open-minded enough.
I've heard it could be enjoyable, but I'm not going to find out. So
right. Yeah.
You know, I just
so there's a couple of things that I'm not interested
and that's
in.
not me lying about it. That's just me solely telling you that I have no interest in a girl putting her finger in my butt.
What about a guy?
Then we could talk. How big are his hands?
Jesus. See, now all of a sudden we understand why the hand size is so important for me.
See,
because if this might be the one girl that finally does
And
the,
she
the
has big
prostate thing.
hands.
Yeah, I want a cute girl with little hands that can't open jars or hurt my sphincter.
After hearing your outlook on this list and all the things you haven't done or whatever, to know that you want to shit in their bed and on their walls, but yet, you know, you don't want to faint. If you got to get out of bed to shit, you're pissed off.
What episode was that? So we can tell them to go back to it.
She can't blow you. She can't send you pictures. She can't dress up for you. She can't finger your butt.
No, she can send pictures. I like that a lot. The whole like sexting all day. I think that's great. That's one of my favorite things on that list. But don't ask me if you want me to do it or whatever. Don't be like, hey, do you want me to send you a picture?
Just random about it.
Hey, do you want me to wear that lingerie tonight? No, just do it.
That or you open up your Snapchat or something, it's a video playing with herself or something like
yeah, that stuff's great. I love that stuff. But we were right to the top end of this show, didn't we? I mean, it was coming. It was coming anyway.
Yes, it was.
It was. I mean, it's been this is 14 episodes, and we've just been pushing the limits more and more and more. And I still don't think we've gone
just
over
established that there is no limits, point blank.
No limits whatsoever. That's what we should have called the show.
I'm going to start forewarning some people with my family, like, hey, you might want to skip segment 2.
But you know, the thing of it is, the stuff that we just talked about right there might be a little weird for us because we've never touched on that in our podcast before. But there's really nothing wrong with anything we talked about.
No,
it's
not
all
at all.
stuff that most of these people listening have either tried or thought about.
It's not really weird for me. It's more about hoping that everybody's not going to be like, okay, we're not going to listen to them anymore.
Well, yeah. I mean,
but there's one way to find out.
The thing of it is, I look at it like that last episode. There might be some people that are really into the Bible and to the Lord and stuff. They listen to the last episode and they say the same thing. Well, this isn't for me. So, I mean, I've told people all along, this isn't for you if you're going to sit around the dinner table and have this on in the background with the family. It's not, I mean, hopefully people realize that by now. And when they see the explicit thing, if new people listening, hopefully they look into it a little bit, read the descriptions, and notice that it says explicit content.
Yeah,
just so that they know that you don't put this on when the two kids you pick your kids up from school. It's not for that. It's for adults. 18 to whatever. I'll even say 17 or 16. I mean, people that age are, this is what it is.
That's true.
Right up
I'll give you that.
whatever age you want to be. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's anything. I think it might come off a little weird because we never talked about it and some people might have never heard of it on here. But it's real shit. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
It's real life. That's how it is.
That's right. So
send me the relationship one.
Oh yeah, I'll put it in the notes. I think that'll be our sex segment. I'd like to every episode have some type of an article that has to do with that. And the next one, let me get this over to you.
Well, since we were talking about sex real quick, what about horoscopes here? I got pulled up while you're sending me that.
Mm-hmm.
You're a Leo, you said, right?
Yeah, you got them all up? We'll read everybody's?
No, I don't. And I
don't give a fuck about mine. Fuck them. Let's hear yours. Is it sex ones? Is it sex
doesn't really. It's
because I don't know what that. They don't really have nothing to do with sex.
No, it's not really. It's not actually.
No.
Now
does it tell me I'm going to get millions?
Now that I'm
dollars?
Now that I'm looking at it and reading through it, In your case, yours is about sex, saying your sex drive's amped up and you're going to be poor all your life.
Does it say that, really?
Eventually, you're going to find a girl with a massive set of hands who is going to finger your butt.
You're such an asshole. Would you write this fucking horoscope?
I can't believe this.
I can't either. It's funny. I can't either.
No, it's not.
I like it already. I scrolled down to it. The first fucking words on my horoscope are, "Hey, hottie." Now, so they know me. So this is right already.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All eyes are on you right now, and love is coming your way more naturally than ever. Your sex drive is amped up, you're feeling way more outgoing, and your confidence is through the roof. Ask your crush out. DTR, or pop the question this week. What is DTR? Is that what you were asking me before?
I don't know. DTR.
Ask your crush out, comma, DTR, comma. I don't like these fucking horoscopes. These horoscopes are for women, I think.
You said you didn't care about yours, so I didn't read it. Then you read it anyway.
Well, it caught my attention when it said, "Hey, hottie," on the top thing. I was like, oh, maybe they do know what they're talking about. What's this say? It's easy to rush into things without knowing what you're getting into, like telling someone that you love them after the second date. Yeah, this isn't for me. Let's see what yours say. This weekend, this is yours as a Gemini. This weekend starts off on an emotional note, and if you're not happily booed up, you might end up feeling really lonely. Well, that's not even you, because you have somebody. So what? You're lonely. It's not the end of the world. It's basically just talking about, I don't know, just talking about if you're being fucking lonely. Yeah, I don't know what those... The
cuffing season. I've heard that before.
Yeah. Cuffing season?
Yeah.
That's usually what? Spring?
Plenty of time to find your perfect match.
It's always nice to have somebody be dating somebody in the winter
time. Cuffing season, and this one's probably different.
You probably mean like the punch type of cuff? Because I was thinking about just getting rid of them in the fall.
No.
Oh, that's culling. Culling. That's when you get rid of something.
Okay. Anyway.
On to the relationship segment.
Yeah, something a little more exciting. That was stupid.
13 relationship red flags in women you should never ignore. I have ignored these fucking things for years, up until about a year and a half ago.
Quite honestly, I think you need at least more than 13 red flags before you'll even consider dating someone.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem now. I always used to ignore them, and now I'm so fucking picky with them that if one of these red flags come up, I'm out. The first one, she criticizes you. I think that you're supposed to be able to do that. There's a big difference between complaining and criticizing. Complaining is, quote, I was concerned when you were running late and didn't call me, quote. Criticizing is, quote, you're not forgetful, you're selfish. You never think of me, quote. Oh, I see the difference there.
Where the hell did you find that?
Under number 1.
Oh, if you touch on it, it pulls up.
Maybe on yours. Mine is a scrolling thing right down through.
Oh, no, it's not. It's different.
What do you got?
Now it looks like it. Oh, number 1.
There's a picture.
Yes, I got it. I just disregard.
That's something. I guess if they're going to be an asshole about it, you know. I try to think of, like, in my past relationships, the shit. There's one that's, I won't name names, but there's one that sticks out that it was probably the 13 plus red flags, and I fucking dealt with it anyway because I'm an idiot.
Because you like it.
I must. Well, I did, and now I don't, and I've, like, grown past all that shit, and now you just fucking find nobody and just stay alone.
I did, and now I don't, but then I did, but I don't anymore, and because I don't, now I do.
Well, now I'm single. Now I just fucking stay that way.
That's the way it's going to be.
Number 2, she treats you with contempt. To treat someone without contempt means using mockery, sarcasm, and disrespect. Essentially, it means your girlfriend is not taking discussions seriously. What effect is this going to have on you? It'll make you feel unloved and devalued. I don't know.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah, she treats you with contempt. That sucks, I guess.
I don't know that I necessarily agree with that first one either.
Number 3, she gets defensive. I remember that in some of them. Like, you couldn't ask a single fucking question, and they would, oh, you're so controlling. Why do you always got to know where I am? Well, I don't know. I was just bringing up conversation. How was your night last night?
But is that really a red flag?
Well, I think it
can be. It's
how it comes off.
It certainly could be. But at the same time, wouldn't she have the right to be defensive if she was being accused of something she didn't really do? Which is no different than if somebody accuses you of something, you or I, that we didn't do. We get defensive.
Sure.
Like, I'm fucking telling you right now, I didn't fucking do it. Well, why are you getting all defensive? Because I didn't fucking do it, and you're pissing me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you've asked me 8 times the same question.
But I always hate when they do that. Like, well, if you didn't really do it, you wouldn't get all defensive. Well, yes, I fucking would.
Right. At this point, you've asked me so much, I'm just getting pissed off at listening
Exactly.
to it.
I'm sick of hearing about it. I didn't fucking do it. I don't care if you believe me or not. You know, I didn't spend the money. I didn't do whatever the case may be. You know, I didn't cheat. I didn't fucking wreck the truck. I did, you know, whatever the case may be.
I take that she gets defensive more as if like it's a constant thing. Like every time she goes out, she gets defensive. She never wants to talk about nothing, never wants to answer nothing. I could see that kind of being weird because
like
you know
you
how
said,
I am too. I'd be like, well, why can't you ever answer? Like I'm not pestering you about it. I'm just as a conversation. Like, how was your night last night? What'd you end up doing? Well, when they get defensive and they're like, what do you got to know what I did?
Well, to me would be.
I don't really care. I'm just bringing up conversation.
Well, to me would be where that would be a red flag. I guess in this particular case, would be like I guess if she goes out all the time and it's fine. And if you ever text or call or need something, she's always responsive. Let's say she goes out one time, whether you have suspicions or not, and she doesn't respond. To me, now that's a red flag to me. Like, why is she not answering me this time? And then if I'm like, well, when I text you, why didn't you answer me? Well, why do I always got to text? Like, well, if you went out the other 50 times, you always text me back. This one time you couldn't.
It just seemed off.
It's just weird to me.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you were in the bathroom. That's what, say I was in the bathroom, but then they get defensive over that. It's like, okay, something's going. You're not texting me back, and you're getting awful defensive. So, like I said, that's where I could see both sides of it.
Yeah, I could see that. Number 4, she stonewalls you when there is a problem. Stonewalling is an alternative route to contempt that people in a relationship sometimes take. Instead of your girlfriend not taking a conversation seriously, she refuses to engage. Well, that's no more different than kind of what we were talking about. They just don't want to talk. They just don't want to tell you about it. And again, a lot of times questions I'm asking aren't because I'm assuming you're doing something wrong. I just, like, because on one hand, they want you to be, like, women want you to be concerned for their day and how their day was and shit. So you went out last night. I asked you, hey, how was your night last night? Well, if you don't want to fucking say nothing about it, then all of a sudden, my mind, it's like a red flag goes up. I'm like, well, all I'm doing is asking how your night was, and you're making a big fucking deal out of it, like I'm trying to pry into your business. Mm-hmm. Don't tell me, but my fucking red flags are going up.
See, this right here, though, it's 13 relationship red flags in women you should never ignore. I feel like a lot of these could be red flags for women looking at men.
Oh,
as
sure.
well.
I see that, yeah.
Even though it says for women.
If men did any of these to women, I feel the same way.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
I mean, they said that, but I guess for anybody listening, we're not biased here. I mean, this could go either way, quite honestly, I think. It could be for either sex.
John Gottman says refusing to talk, acting busy, or otherwise evading and refusing to participate with you means your girlfriend is psychologically flooded and is not in a place where she can have a rational discussion. I'm sure that's the case
Maybe
sometimes.
you don't have anything in common and she doesn't give a shit to talk about what interests
Right.
you, in which case maybe you shouldn't be together anyway.
If this sounds familiar, you need to take a break. For some people, it could be as little as 20 minutes to calm down. For others, it could be days or more, in which case you might want to consider if you are committed to the relationship.
Yeah, see?
I've always said that. I don't take breaks. If you want to take a break, just be single.
Take a break is just another way for cheating and getting away with it.
Right. And that's in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're wrong about this. But in my mind, any time a girl has ever wanted to take a break, it was because there was another guy she wanted to take the fucking break with.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just
hangs
biased.
out with him, fucks him, whatever, finds out it's not what she thought, then she wants to come back.
Right.
Fuck, beat feet.
To me, you might, instead of calling it take a break, just call it a fucking hall pass.
Yeah.
You basically just want to take a break to go out.
Don't come back.
Right, and people, I mean, it's different if you take a break and you just kind of sit around and think about your thoughts and get your shit together and then figure out what you really want. But to me, anytime it's ever happened to me, the very next night they're out at a fucking bar, they got guys all over them and shit, they got them coming home with them. It's like, nah, bullshit, that wasn't a break. You just wanted to fuck other people. So that's, to me, maybe I'm just tainted from that. Maybe there is really breaks that women want to take. I don't know. In my past,
I'm with you on it, though.
And in my brain, there's no other fucking reason than to, first of all, and not only that, but if you're in a deep relationship with somebody you've been in with, say, 5-6 years, long enough to where you're in a solid relationship with that person, they want to take a break now instead of trying to figure out and work on getting it better. Like, in other words, you're just avoiding it.
Exactly. Not only that, on the hindsight of it, you want to take a break, and 3 days or a week later, you're hanging out or banging some other guy. Well, obviously, the 6 years we've been together means nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Or again, reversing it could be for the girls. These could be reversed, but I'm just saying.
Right. Well, yeah, it works both ways. But in my mind,
yeah. So we've been together 6 years, and now a week of being on a break, you're banging fucking Tommy over here. Okay, well, you didn't give a shit about the 6 years we were together.
I had one in the past that wanted to take a break, and we did, because at that point I was ready to just break up anyway, so I didn't give a fuck. Took the break. I went out. Actually, that's a story that we talked about, but I went out with you guys to a bar down in Gilliland, And when she found out, you know the story, but it's hard to not name names and shit.
I get it.
When she found out I was out, she was all pissed off at me about going out while we were on a break.
Was this like one of your most recent ones?
One of the more recent ones, yeah.
Okay.
And
the DFM license plate?
Yeah, that one.
Gotcha.
Yep. It was all pissed off because we wanted to take a break. We both kind of decided that we just fought all the time. It was time to take a fucking break. And that was fine. So I go out with you guys and hang out at the bar because, again, at that point, I didn't care if we got back together or not. I was so sick of the bullshit. It wasn't really even a break to me, and I've always thought that. It's not a break. It's just a breakup. That's as far as I'm concerned.
It's basically prolonging the inevitable.
Well, she went out to a bar, too. Actually, she went out to a house party, got all fucked up, and ended up, like, being with this guy. I never did any of that. I just went out to the bar with you guys. Well, she got all mad at me because I went out while we were on a break. And then I find out that she went out and stayed the night at some guy's house. It's like, you got to be shitting me.
Wasn't that where they were going away a couple weeks after and shit, too?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like next weekend, they were in New York City and all sorts of shit. But I couldn't go out to the bar. That's, double standards is a big fucking flag. I don't know if that's on this list. Did we already get to the end?
No, we're at number 5.
Oh, yeah. That has to be one on this list. I haven't read through it all, but that, in case it's not, double standards are a huge red flag for me. If she's allowed to go do something and I'm not, then
you should be.
You're right. You should be, or there shouldn't be in a relationship. Something's wrong. She's untrusting, or something's wrong with her that she can't allow it.
Number 5, I can tell you I already don't agree with, but it says this may seem minor, but it can lead to arguments. Number 5, she has different cleaning habits than you. It says to you, but it should be, I think, than you. Mm-hmm. This one seems minor, right? But it can lead to arguments. Does your girlfriend like things tidier than you? She will constantly be upset with you for not cleaning up more often. Does your girlfriend not tidy up after herself? She will become increasingly frustrated you can't leave things where they are. The frustration between the two of you will build over time, and this is a deeply ingrained habit that is very hard to change.
This is a great one for you because you're very OCD with stuff.
I was just going to say, like I said before, though, she has different cleaning habits. However, now I could actually see it because this does actually happen with my OCD. If things are not done exactly how they want, like how in my mind they need to be or should be, it's a problem with me. I can't accept it.
Well, now, I'm glad you said it. Do you think it's a problem with you, or do you think it's a problem with the relationship?
I think it's more me with the OCD, to be honest with you. Because things can be picked up and put away, but they got to be put right where, in my mind, they need to be. Like, you can't just put it in the fucking drawer. It's got to be in the drawer to the lower corner. That's where, like, you see my drawer at the house where, like, my wallet and all that. Like, you can't just throw my wallet in that fucking drawer.
Yep.
It has to go in the upper right corner, like shit like that. Like, so you could pick up and be fine for most people, but for me, it's not acceptable. I can't have it.
So do you recognize, though, that's your problem and not really a relationship problem?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because of the OCD.
Because I feel like I would, too, if I had that issue. It'd be like, well, that's something I have to compromise a little bit because everybody's not perfect.
Exactly. The other thing of it is some stuff I'll do shit with the kids or whatever, though. They'll leave socks or clothes laying on the floor, and I will literally step over it for 3 or 4 days, and it won't get picked up. Meanwhile, the house, quote-unquote, got cleaned in that 4 days, but miraculously, these socks that have been laying here for 4 days are still laying here. How did you clean the house and miss the socks? And I do that shit, as petty as it sounds. I stepped over.
I was going to say, why don't you just pick up the socks?
Exactly. But I'd be like, I stepped over this hair tie for the last 7 fucking days. Don't tell me you just clean the house because that hair tie's been there for 7 days.
Oh, I see. Use it as a test.
Yeah. And of course, she'll be like, you fucking seen it. You pick it up. I'm like, no, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But, okay, as much as I said I don't agree with that, now after thinking about it and reading it, I could see that.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would call that a red flag.
Yeah, I don't know if I would break up with somebody over it. I think I would try to think more of am I being outrageous with wanting this stuff clean like this?
I mean, that's not really a red flag as far as I'm concerned. But
because she doesn't put the knives in the right drawer.
If one's a total slob and the other one's a neat freak,
I mean, if she...
Yes,
right,
but I mean...
Right.
It's halfway there. I don't...
If my girlfriend took shits on the floor like episode 12, that'd be a different story. I'd be right in love.
Exactly. If she actually went on the toilet, you wouldn't want nothing to do with it.
No go for me. No go for me.
What kind of pig shits on the toilet?
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Number 6, she needs constant reassurance. Oh, boy, this is a big one. This red flag in women might seem harsh, but it's the truth. If your girlfriend cannot make themselves happy, they will drain all your willpower and mental energy trying to do it for them.
Agreed.
Everyone needs an emotional pick-me-up now and then. But if you're constantly doing that for her, when can she do that for you?
Or when do you have time to do it for yourself?
One of the most challenging life lessons I've learned is you have to love yourself before you can love someone else. That's a huge one. I'm guilty of that. I wasn't always like that. I've ruined a lot of, I ruined a handful of relationships because I wasn't happy with myself.
That's a huge one. I agree.
I think I'm still not, but now I'm at least mature enough to just not get. I mean, we tease about how I don't put any effort in, but it's more or less I know it ain't going to work, so I'm not going to bother leading somebody on.
If you can't make yourself happy or know what makes you happy, how do you expect to be with somebody and have them make you happy? Because they could do things that may make you happy or not, but you don't even necessarily really know it, I guess.
Right.
You know, like maybe coming home and getting your back rubbed makes you happy, but you don't even fucking know it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not even happy yourself.
Sure.
So you don't know what to look for or what not to look for, I guess.
The problem of it is if you're not happy with yourself and you're searching for a way, and I see it so many times with relationships, people get in these relationships with the one. They're always every
month later,
every 3 months they're with the one that they should have been with. Oh, I should have met you so many years ago. I'm so in love with you. And then 3 months later, it's the same thing but with a different person.
And I love
guy
to
or
see
girl.
that, as mean as that sounds.
Yeah, it's like it could, because you're not happy with yourself. You just don't even know what you're looking for yet. And then 3 or 4 months, typically about 3 months is when you can kind of truly start to know who people are. I think after about 3 months, and I read this somewhere, after about 3 months is when the human brain gets lazy enough to where they start letting things slip out of their true
complacency.
Yeah, they get a little, and it's easy for them to start being their true self. So if you're not happy with yourself and don't and love yourself, you
can't make somebody else happy.
Right, somebody's meeting you on a basis of somebody else, that you're somebody else, and then that starts to slip through, and you end up breaking up, and you go on to the. It's just too much effort for you too, and that was almost me, being selfish. I'm like, I'm sick of trying to impress people. Like, I don't give a fuck if I just end up single. I have my reasons for it. It is what the fuck it is.
It's a fact. It's huge.
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
Number 7's a big one as far as I'm concerned. She's always speaking to her ex.
Huge.
Again, real quick, I know we said it, but just so if there's any female listeners, this article says red flags in women, and they're all, she does this. This could go either way. Obviously, from a girl looking at it.
It's just because it's two guys talking about it, so we're going to sound like we're only talking one way.
It would be no different if it said he's always talking to her ex. So just don't take it that way. It's just the way it is. But I'm going to come right out and say it. If your girlfriend chatting to her ex regularly, if they broke up less than 6 months ago, is an awful sign. Chatting to an ex from time to time is okay. I would even argue that a girl blocking every one of her exes is a red flag all of its own. But frequent contact with her immediate ex indicates the relationship is not entirely over. You should prepare yourself for the fact that there is a good chance you could end up becoming the rebound boyfriend. I will tell you right now, there is never a good time for a girl to talk to her ex. I don't give a shit unless they got a kid.
I don't either. I guess
you will not change my mind
unless they have a kid, right?
I don't care if they broke up 6 minutes ago, 6 months, 6 years,
right.
60 years.
You broke up for a reason.
I don't give a fuck. You're not talking to your ex when you're with me. Unless you have a kid together.
Yep.
I'm a mature. I get it.
I will say, like, if we're walking through Walmart and he happens to be walking and they say hi, okay, that's different. But to like these like text messages, phone calls,
you're not going to be friends on social media.
Sure.
I'm not going to. I better not see him liking your shit, comment. That's not. There's no need for that. I
just don't think. Maybe I'm being an asshole. Maybe I'm being controlling or whatever. I just don't see the need for that. You were with this person for how many years? And again, this goes with guys or girls. You were with this person for so many years. You decided not to be with this person anymore. What are you going to get?
What is
out
their
of
life? Why do you care about their life or what's going on?
Why didn't you just stay with them? And that's I've heard that excuse. I just want to see how they're doing in life. What do you care?
Yeah.
Why didn't you stay with them then if it worked out? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And I'll tell you, a lot of times, I don't know if this is always true because I'm no expert at this, but the majority of times that girls that I've known have talked to their ex ended up back with them
or somebody else.
Yep.
Anyway.
And this you can kind of veer off with this too. I hate to be this way because a lot of people won't agree with me, but I think a girl that constantly talks to their guy best friend, I think you have to. I don't think there's anything wrong with a girl having a guy friend, but I think there's a limit to what you can. I mean, if you're hanging out at your, like, if you're spending the night,
tendency or whatever is always there. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just something we have to bring up at a different time. But if girls can have guy best friends, or vice versa, if girls can have, or if guys can have girl best friends, I don't know. I don't think so. I will say. Cindy is probably my best friend as a girl, and I've never done nothing or really even thought about it with her. So I can kind of see, but I just don't. I see that's hard for me to say because I trust myself with her, but like I don't know if people can be trusted with. Eventually, I mean, all it takes is you get in a fight with your boyfriend one time. Somebody's been drinking.
Shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, I've seen it too many times.
Shoulder to cry on
is a dick to ride on.
Yeah,
that's right.
There you go.
So, and I've just seen it with me too many times. Girls end up going back to their ex or this guy that don't worry about him. Oh, don't worry about him. He's just a friend. You break up 2 weeks later, they're together.
I could tell you with no uncertain circumstances or anything, if anybody's ever with me, you will not have any contact with any of your exes. You can call me controlling, selfish. You can call me whatever you want, but save yourself the trouble and don't call me at all. Because if you want to still talk to your ex, don't even waste your fucking time. Because I'm telling you, it's not happening. That's not gonna. That'd be a huge red flag.
Again, if they have kids or something, that's totally different. There's a lot of situations where this might not become true.
Okay, same time though, you have children, so it could be about the kids. If it's, hey, you want to go grab coffee and
absolutely.
Okay, well that's not about the kids anymore. So that's going to stop too.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
yeah, no, I agree with that. I just think it's trouble brewing.
You could call me insecure. Whatever. I don't care what you call me, but I'm just
really
telling
the time difference really makes. And again, this is for the women too. Like if your guy is doing this with his ex, it's to me, it's just as much of a red flag. There's nothing biased, women or men, as far as I'm concerned in this conversation. It's just as bad. If you end up dating me and I'm still talking to my ex while we're fucking dating, you might as well figure I'm not even into this relationship, or else I wouldn't. Because I'll tell you right now, when I'm happy with somebody, I don't give a fuck about any other girls around me.
That's true. I will give
exes
you that.
Or fucking anything. I don't give a fuck about any girls around me. So if we're dating and all of a sudden I'm talking to my ex,
you've already
trust me, there's a reason.
You've already checked out.
Right. There's a reason I'm talking to her. And I just feel that there's too many people. Maybe there's this one fucking person that means it and really is just being friends with their ex. But I don't know. What'd you break up for? And the people like, it always comes up like it just wasn't the right time. Well, now you're with me, and it is the right time.
Just waiting for the right time to fill. What am I?
Maybe I'm just negative about it, but I agree with you. I just don't. I don't know. I can't think of a good reason for that to be a thing.
I agree. Number 8. She's a drama queen.
Oh God.
Does this one sound familiar? Somehow, nobody has it worse than your girlfriend. Everything is a soap opera, and everyone has a vendetta against her. Or so she says. Engaging in one-upmanship is a contest with no winner. Boy, isn't that the truth.
I got sick.
As one Redditor put it, if you're sick, she's on her deathbed. You won't feel emotionally supported, which is incredibly important.
I got sick of this with a recent one. Every day when she would text me or call me, it was like it got to the point where she just called me or texted me to complain about everybody she worked with. Her back hurt, her neck hurt, her foot hurt, her fucking fingernail hurt.
And I think
it was like every time, it was like I got to the point where after a couple months of that, it's like, do you ever have a good day?
Well, not only that, I feel like too what that would lead to would be the other half, male or female, would eventually be, when that first happens and the relationship's new or something, you might obviously care sincerely and worry or whatever. But eventually, if that's every day, like you were saying it's happened, eventually it's going to be like, I don't give a fuck about your headache. You've had a headache for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Go to the doctor then and get it looked at. There's something wrong if you have headaches all the time.
And that's what it came to with me.
I don't care that Susie smacks while she eats. I don't give a fuck about that.
Right.
And then
I did the first couple of times. It was a conversation. I enjoy. I'm glad you bring things to me. But how many times you've told me 17 times that Susie smacks her fucking lunch? What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah, you want me to come there and tell her not to eat lunch around you? What?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, then there was other things.
Find a new job.
So like the back issues or the headache issues or whatever. Well, I don't know what to tell you. First of all, I'm not a doctor. Go see a doctor. And of course, I didn't want to be a dick about it. But in my mind,
well, eventually,
I was just losing patience. It was like you've told me about this for 3 months, almost every day.
But you won't go to the doctors.
But you won't do anything about it, right? So is it really that big of an issue, or are you just want somebody to fucking listen to you and give you attention? Right. So, I mean, if there's obviously something wrong, I'll listen to you. I'm not that shallow. But if I got to hear about the same thing about your fucking left pinky toe hurting for the last 3 months, I just don't. It's like the boy who cried wolf. I just don't care really about it anymore, and now we're just wasting time.
Yeah. So if you wanted sympathy, now you're not going to get it because you've already played that card too much.
Yep.
At least with me.
Yep.
Everybody listening, they're going to be like, man, these guys are fucking assholes.
Well,
one thing I can tell you is, like we said right from the beginning, this show is not scripted, nor do we lie.
We're reading these things off this thing, but any of our opinions, it is what it is.
That's what I believe. I'll stand by anything.
Hopefully people appreciate that.
Well, that's kind of where I was going to go with that. So whether you like it or not, or you might disagree with some of the things we say, but you got to respect the fact that we're honest about it. We're not trying to lie. We're not It's not the fact that we're just doing this podcast so we're going to sugarcoat it or hide. No, how I feel is exactly what I'm going to tell you.
Mm-hmm. Well, it kind of goes with our segments, with the sex segment. We all know everybody has sex. Everybody knows about it. Some people just are too afraid to talk about it, so they can listen to this and get the information that they're too afraid to ask people about or maybe they're not, and it doesn't bother them at all. It's just, but anything we've talked about is just normal shit that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. Whether they want to talk about it or have somebody to go to talk to about it is a different story.
Exactly.
But we're not making up shit just to be sick and disgusting. We're just bringing up subjects that are on everyday plates for people. Number 9, I agree with the second half. I don't agree with the first half. She does not read or push herself to grow. The reading thing, I don't care if she reads or not, and that seems pretty specific to me to be a red flag. I don't like to read. I mean, I will, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a big reader.
Like,
anyway.
I'm picturing this thing, meaning like if she does sitting on the couch like 3 times a week reading a novel, then to get rid of her. I don't give a fuck if you read or not.
I was going to say, quite honestly, in my case, nothing against them, but if I'm coming home from work every day and she's on the couch reading for an hour or two, I'm not even going to be with that girl. Just because it's not an interest of mine. It's nothing bad.
Right.
Nothing. God bless her. She wants to be a reader. Absolutely. Good for you.
Right. But you don't have that
I'm not
in common,
interested.
so what's
maybe she doesn't want to go to the bar. I like to go to the bars, have a couple beers. Well, she doesn't like it. Well, then we don't have anything in common, so we probably shouldn't
just
be
not
together.
the type of, I will say, though, I like a girl to be intelligent. And
yes,
I guess I'm picturing reading novels. I think that's ridiculous. But I like the girl to know if we're in a conversation at dinner and I bring up something that's going on in the world and she has no fucking idea about it, like every once in a while it's fine, but like she never knows what the fuck I'm talking about with current events or has anything basically interesting to put into a
you
conversation.
have no common interest then at that point.
It's like that's, so I guess that is kind of a, I don't know if that's about reading, but I mean, you could just watch the news once in a while and have something to talk about. If I bring up these Kentucky tornadoes and you don't know what it is, okay, but then next week I bring up something else that's going on and you don't know what it is. And then the next week it's like, Jesus Christ, dummy. Like, don't you, like, you have no...
Wow, talk about shallow.
Jesus. Well, anyway. She does not push herself to grow, which I think goes hand in hand with that, to be honest with you.
Well, just because she doesn't read, I don't see why I don't read, and I would push myself to grow, so I don't agree with that.
I think the wording is weird. The reading part, I don't care if she reads or not, but I do want her to push herself to grow and have some type of a goal. I don't want just some bum. Basically, at that point, they're just living with you because you have a house or you have a good job or whatever you have.
It's comfortable for them.
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's easy. So if they're not pushing themselves to grow and become a better, even involve me, like, hey, maybe we can't do it right now, but 5-10 years from now, let's, what is your thoughts about building a house somewhere? All right, well, that's great. Give me those opinions and then we can work towards them.
Granted, you'll have to build it because she knows nothing about doing it.
Well, I ain't going to build. I would just, at this point, it's just as cheap to have them fucking built. Well, I don't know about right now with the economy the way it is.
Well, the way lumber is, holy shit, God bless you.
Yeah, so I think goals, I think pushing herself to grow, I like that in a woman. I think that's...
goal-oriented could be sexy.
Yeah, it's just like, I know this sounds stupid, but I just don't want to be with a dumb girl. Like, if you got to have some type of a... you got to grow. You got to learn things. You got to put yourself out there and just watch different movies and shit so that you become smarter in life in general. And you'd think you'd want to. I guess that's my point. If you don't want to,
I'm going to put a list together for next episode of all the things it takes to qualify to be with Wes Griffin. You can't be stupid. You can't give blowjobs.
No, I don't mind blowjobs. I just don't. It's not a. It doesn't have. You don't have to be.
I can't wait to put this list together.
I can't wait to see it. I think that'd be a great thing.
You got to have certain size hands.
I think you should really do this.
I'll put some thought into it.
I think you should. I think you should write down. I don't know how much paper you're going to need, but
yeah.
But like that blowjob thing, that's not a dequalification. I don't care. It's just I don't care about it either way. So you can't use that.
It's my list. I can use whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, but it's about me.
And then you can just, you can argue. You can debate it.
All right, well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a fucking debate about it next episode.
Number
episode
10.
15.
Moving on. Number 10. We're almost to the finish line, folks. She's on the phone. She's on the phone to you 24/7.
Nobody edited this fucking write-up.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I think you edited it. Is the thing.
Proofread this.
I love when my wife messages me when she's out and about. It tells me she's thinking of me. There's a natural limit to this, though. Here's what one Redditor said about an ex. When I told her we texted too much, she would text me saying there were things she wanted to text me about, but didn't because she thought I would get mad at her for texting. If your girlfriend is messaging you every hour of the day and expecting you to respond every time, this is overstepping natural boundaries. It will get in the way of you doing focused, productive work and spending quality time with friends and family out of business hours. I'm on the fence with this one. I like attention.
This is a tough one.
I like them reaching out to me. I do. I like that a lot. As far as responding immediately, sometimes I might not be able to. However, if I can't respond immediately and you give me shit over it, then that's the problem for me.
Yeah.
Which vice versa too.
Yeah, I'm
now,
on
if
the
I
fence
text
with this
in,
one, too.
well, I was doing something. My hands were full. I had to carry in the groceries before I text you back. Oh, duh. Okay. You know what I mean? But
I think it's the amount of time. It's one thing if you didn't text back in 5 or 10 minutes and she gets mad, that'd be kind of weird. Or that would be weird. But I could see if like it was 3 or 4 hours before I texted her back, I can see them kind of being like, well, where were you for 3 hours? Nowadays, everybody has their fucking phone on them.
Exactly.
You check your phone every 10 minutes. So it's one thing if like, okay, I was in the shower, so 20, 30 minutes took me, whatever. I didn't have my phone in there. That shit I could understand. But if like I'm texting somebody,
I literally have my phone in the shower.
4 hours, 5 hours later, I finally get a text back. It's like I'm not gonna. So I'm just gonna stop texting you. I don't have any interest because it doesn't seem like you're interested in fucking answering me back. Is all.
I agree. But as far as them texting too much, nah.
No, I don't either. I think
I like that.
I mean, there's a fucking extent. I've been with some girls that literally from the fucking minute they wake up, it's just text conversation after text. And sometimes, like when I was driving, it's like I just can't. I can't keep up.
Yeah, but at the same time, it shows they're into you, I think. As weird as it sounds.
One of them used to call me, and as much as I joke around about don't call me and shit, just text me, that was kind of better, because at least we could have the conversation. She could get the information she needed from me. I could get the same from her about what we were doing for dinner tonight or where we were going or whatever this situation may be. That was okay. But it got to the point where it was like she was... Well, and it was the same one always had a drama issue, always had a fucking problem with somebody at work.
Well, nothing was ever going to be good enough there.
Right, and that was the problem. It just became, this is what I mean, so I guess this puts it into perspective why sometimes it's not good. It became all day from the minute she woke up to the minute she went to bed. Basically, 75-80% of that was complaining about shit going on in her life. And at that point, too much texting was too fucking much. I got to where, like, I just can't answer this shit
It
back.
literally could have been, hey, I love you, and you don't even want to hear that at that point.
I didn't even care. Yeah, I was so off by it at that point after 6 hours of fucking texting back and forth. Then I had another one, the DFM license plate one, would nothing but fucking fight all day long. Wanted to do nothing but fucking fight because she gets something in her head. I didn't get home 5 minutes when I told her I was going to be home or something. It would turn into a fuck. I didn't like them texts either. But
you stopped to get milk. What'd you do? Milk the cow yourself? Like, yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Well, it got to the point when that situation where I didn't even want to explain myself to her anymore. And that's how I knew it was time to check out. Because she would ask me something like, for instance, how come you were 10 minutes late? I mean, it got ridiculous. How come you were 10 minutes late?
Anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, for your example, I stopped to get milk. Well, geez, it doesn't take you 15 minutes to get milk. Well, in my head, I'm thinking, well, Jim was there, John was there. I got talking to them after I got the milk. Then I walked out, and somebody from work was at the fucking gas pump, so I talked to them for 5 minutes, and then I came home. It wasn't a big deal, and they're going up and down. I'm thinking to myself, I've done this personally exactly like this.
It's not even worth having to do all that.
Exactly. I've thought this in my head. At this point, I've thought about all the reasons why it did take me like 10 or 15 minutes to stop.
Now you're almost
should have taken 2.
Are you thinking in your head almost like, well, gee, maybe it shouldn't have taken me 10 at first?
Well, I've done that before too. But I guess for this example, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not even going to explain myself. Just be pissed at me. Like, it's not worth the effort for me. It's easier for me to just let you fucking yell at me and make a big deal out of it than it is for me to try to explain that Jim was outside. Then I had to talk to, plus people like that, they're just looking to fucking fight. So they don't care anyway. However you answer them, they're going to have something to come back with, and it's just going to go on for hours. It's not worth it. Just yell at me, get it over with, and we'll fucking fight and be done with it.
We'll have some hate sex and be on with it.
That's right. Yep. Number 11, she shares other people's secrets with you.
Loose lips sink ships.
Yep. Snitches get stitches. I don't know, though.
Lions don't tell other lions that they're a lion.
Gossip is tricky, but it has played an essential function on society. I don't know what to say about this one. I don't know if I would look at this as a red flag, because when you're with somebody, there's not really a lot of secrets with.
Yeah, I agree.
With somebody that close, it's one thing if you've been together 3 months.
They got their best friend. They're like, well, don't tell anybody, and then I go home to tell my other half. Devil's advocate, I could see, but
yeah, I don't know.
Will they ever really know? Because my other half's never going to say that I told. So
okay. So there's a perfect example. I think if you are going to go home, if you've been with this person for 2 or 3 months, probably not the person you should be telling these secrets to. If I had a girlfriend that I've been with for 10 years and knows you as well as I do at that point,
yeah.
It's almost like there wouldn't be
they're like part of the family,
right? You're with somebody that long, and you tell me some secret. It's like, well, such and such knows him for 10 years, knows exactly what he's talking about anyway. It's not a huge deal if I tell it to her. It's like I think it's situational with this.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, if I met somebody 2 months and you told me some secret and I told her, it'd be kind of fucked up. I think that would be definitely situational.
I agree.
Number 12 and the final one. Oh, no. How many are there?
One more.
Oh, there's 13
12
total.
and 13.
Number 12, she plays games with you and your feelings.
Well, that's an obvious one.
Yeah, that's a simple one. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 88, however old you are, I promise you, you're too old for a girl who plays games. Enough said.
Or a guy.
I'll let the Reddit Hivermind sum it up here. We're not in high school, and you aren't on The Bachelorette. Be honest, sincere, and forthcoming, and we'll get along just fine. I'm in my mid-30s, and thus am too old and rickety to jump through hoops.
That's true.
She didn't call somebody in their mid-30s
I feel like, yeah, I guess when a relationship becomes work, that's when it's not worth it.
Right.
If that makes sense.
I think there's some work, but I know what you're getting at.
I feel like it shouldn't be work, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Things should just be, I guess. Like you should be able to just talk to the person.
Sometimes
you should be happy to see them and hear from them. You should have common things and interests. When it becomes the things where you got to start, it's becoming a job to, in your case, explain because you were 3.5 minutes later than normal. When you have to start doing that's stuff,
unhealthy work.
Well, it's unhealthy for you and for them, quite honestly.
Right, it's unhealthy for them to put you through it.
It's not worth it. At that point, you're just fucking miserable. Because you know that if you're like, man, we really need milk because I want cereal in the morning, but if I fucking stop and get it tonight, I'm going to fight over it. You know what? I just won't have fucking cereal tomorrow.
Well, you know I went through that. You know, because you know everything.
100%.
You know just the one I'm talking about, but it got to that point where it was like it was so much fucking work to keep them happy.
That it wasn't worth it, though. That's when it's like, yeah, you know what? It shouldn't be like a second job to you, I guess.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, it's a job or work in essence. I think because you always want to keep the other one attracted, or
that's what I mean. There is some work involved in a relationship.
You always want to keep that lust or whatever.
Right, you have to put a little bit of effort into like keeping things fun and fresh and new and all that and be interesting.
But that doesn't take all that much work.
No, that's just a little bit of side work. But like, if you got to really work to keep somebody happy or do everything they fucking want or be careful about where you go or what you talk about and shit. That's too much work and it's not worth it, right? That's not worth it at all.
And number 13, a huge one here.
The last one.
Again, this goes without saying, quite honestly. This should have been number 1.
This would go along with that one where she's talking to her ex, I think.
Yes, I agree. If she's using you to cheat on someone else, I will read what they said here, but obviously I'm pretty sure that's
pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, but they will tell you you're different from their exes, and they would never do it to you. There's a lie right there.
I've heard that so many. Almost when I hear that, I would never do that to you. I'm almost like, no,
immediately check out.
Done. I don't care anymore.
Here you go. Reality check. You're not different from their exes.
That's
Bingo.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The hard truth is they will break up with you too when the next Mr. Right comes along.
Yep.
It can be challenging to face objective facts when you're in a relationship. I hope knowing these red flags in women and men, even though it doesn't say that, I'm adding that, help you recognize if you're in a problematic relationship or if you don't see any of these, maybe appreciate what you've got.
What was I going to say? Oh, this kind of goes along with my big one. If you're with somebody and you break up with that person to be with somebody else. So, in other words, if a girl is with some guy, she breaks up with that person and ends up with me.
Now,
ends up for me. Breaks up for me.
She broke up solely with me to be with you.
Right. That's one of the biggest fucking red flags. If you're with somebody, you break up with them so that you can date me.
Because
stay to fuck with your ex-boyfriend.
Because they're only going to do the next when the next best thing comes along.
As soon as you're boring to them, guy or girl, as soon as that person is boring, they're out.
What's that tree branch thing you were talking about?
Monkey branching.
Yeah, monkey branching.
Just to go back and forth on a higher. You can jump from one branch to another branch, getting a little higher and a little higher every time.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets boring.
If you think I'm the next best thing, you might as well just stay with who you're with. Cause
that's right.
I'm not going to try to impress or beat anybody.
Yeah, that's what I say. People that are married, people that are, I don't care the situation. Because you then just wait until you're divorced. Wait until you're broke up with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hear it all the time. It's like, well, I really like you. I'm just in a weird spot. We fight all the time. Well, fine. Get a hold of me in 6 or 8 months.
You just answered your own question. We fight too much. Nice.
Right. Get a hold of me in 6, 8 months when everything is final and you've been away from the guy for a while. Then we might talk. But if you're going to leave somebody for me, or you're going to be with me while you're with somebody else and like just slide over to the next relationship, no fucking way. Because I'm no different than that guy.
They do it to you in a heartbeat.
That's right. That's a huge one for me.
Especially the same exact thing, but if they cheat, that's the thing. Like, if she cheats on her boyfriend or husband with you, and then
she's going to do it
and then if you think 3 months down the road when they're officially broke up or divorced and you guys get together that she's never going to cheat on you, you're just as much a fucking fool as she is, apparently.
Because that same situation is going to happen with her, with us, that happened with her and her ex. I say her because it's two guys here talking.
Exactly.
But this goes with everybody.
We've made it clear it goes back. Yes.
It's just my wording. It's just easier to talk to another guy and use her as a thing. But yeah, I'm sure guys will do it too.
Absolutely. Guaranteed.
If I was a cheater and cheated on people all the time, and then I got a new girlfriend, it would just be a matter of time before I'm sure I'd go right back to the same thing.
That, and I think we always like what's comfortable, though, I guess.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be alone. So, again, not justifying this, but I guess to play the devil's advocate of it, you could look at it. What are you looking for?
I'm seeing what's plugged in or what's not here. Something, my battery thing came up on my computer.
Oh, I don't know.
Out of nowhere. Doesn't matter. That can shut off anyway.
Everybody likes to be comfortable. Nobody likes to be alone, though. So I think even if you really want to split with somebody, I could see why maybe some people, and again, not justifying this, it's still not right, but I feel like they would probably try to ensure the fact that they're going to have somebody lined up before they become single, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
That's a big one. You can almost see that coming from a mile away.
Again, it's wrong. It doesn't make it right. But because nobody really likes to be alone, in a sense. You say you like being single, and I believe you.
Well, there's
times
I know what
you've
mean.
literally said to me, Bub, it'd be nice to just go home, watch a movie on the couch with a girl tonight.
Yep.
You know, have her. She made dinner.
Now,
I
is
did.
that worth the shit that I got to worry about? Until I find the right girl? No.
But
no.
So
it is what it is. So we got through those two segments. Actually, three total. I'd like to stick on that. Some type of a structure for the show. I mean, if we get off track, then good. But if not, then we got some type of.
I think this is better than bouncing around, to be honest with you. I really do.
It's just that we just went from this to that to this to that all over like a pinball, and it just wasn't.
We don't have
hard to follow
to these topics exactly,
right?
Either it could be just 2 or 3 topics per show, and that it's just easier to follow.
Not to mention, it gives us something worthy to look up for on our off days.
If anybody would get a hold of us, they'd be like, hey, next episode, what do you talk about? Buying cars. I know we already went over that, but I'm just saying. So you give us something, okay? We'll spend 30, 40 minutes on articles or talking about it or whatever.
Or what our opinion. We may not know what a fucking thing about it, but at least I'll give them our opinion on it.
And as you know, there's no limits here, so there's nothing we won't discuss.
There is no limits whatsoever.
That should have been the name of the show, No Limit. No limits.
That's what I was saying earlier. It would have been a good No Limits with Wes and Mike.
Yeah.
We can't change it now. We see how long it fucking takes. It's still 2 P's in a podcast
on Apple.
And Spotify and one spot.
Picture.
Yeah. I've emailed them. I've talked to them. I've talked to Spreaker about it. I've talked to Apple.
I emailed them. They never got back to me.
Yeah, Apple didn't either. Spreaker did, but it was just nonsense. I've tried what they gave me. They gave me a couple different ideas.
You said change the size and stuff.
And I did. I tried that. Nothing still. In fact, I just thought it. I kind of forgot about it because I know Apple takes a while.
Now it is time to change the name. Fuck it.
Yeah, now that we got it all together, I ain't going to change the name. I like what we got.
Well, that's about it, I think, for me.
Yeah, that's it for me. Get a hold of... I'm going to put that GoFundMe link in the description.
I was going to mention
so that people remember to do that. On a serious note, we joke around, we dick around the whole fucking 2 hours, but that's a pretty serious thing going on down in Kentucky with the hurricane or the tornadoes. And if you guys are looking to maybe send a buck or have a couple extra dollars in your bank account, give that down that way to help them out. And that's
email us, Wes and Mike Podcast.
Patreon's still going, YouTube's still going, everything's going good. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do on that Patreon thing yet. I have not forgot about the coffee thing yet. We still got to try that, and
we were going to do that tonight, but it's too late now.
Yeah, some goofy fucking coffee things we can come up with.
More people got to reach out to us. Chris, my cousin, you listen. I know when we get together, have some beers, you tell me a lot of shit, but I end up having too many beers, so I don't remember it all. So, don't hesitate to use the email, comment on the Facebook, on the YouTube. Ryan, obviously, you don't hesitate to reach out. We appreciate that. Thank you for doing that. Keep doing that as well. We appreciate it.
We have mentioned, too, I think in the last episode, maybe this episode, we climbed back into the top 4% of podcasts.
Last episode, I think we went over that.
Yep, and we've stayed right there. And we have done like 3,500 downloads per month, which is a pretty good number for a podcast
just
this
out.
new.
Yeah.
That's huge numbers for a podcast this new. So people are listening, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely. We say it every time. But without the listeners, what the hell would we do it for? We'd be nobody, literally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, I want to do that thing. Remember that TikTok I sent you? If it's summertime, we get to we're going to pick a number, either 1,000 subscribers, something. They had that sign out in the front yard.
Oh, yeah.
I think it has to be done.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll do a broadcast while we're doing that if I can figure out some way to make this waterproof.
Live or whatever, yeah.
So these guys set up lawn chairs on the side of the road.
Don't tell them. Let them be in suspense.
We're going to let them?
Let them be in suspense.
See what... all right. We'll have to
not
figure out a
mention
number to get to.
Our 100th episode or whatever it may be.
Whatever
the
one we
50th,
pick, yeah.
We want it to be a surprise and big anyway.
Well, and we want it to be summer, too, because I ain't freezing my balls off out there on the side of the road.
Maybe you'll have, you do it for the people.
Episode 14, it is Tuesday, December 14th. Episode 14 is at an end, and we will...
Guys, thank you for listening. As always, we really appreciate it.